Today I'm going to tell you guys all about my door sausages. It's pretty much like the greatest hurricane invention it's ever been done. Let's do a show.
Oh no! Oh no! I don't want you anymore. Yes, baby, I told you before. You went away and you said you left me, and now you live in misery. Although you want me to take you back, you said you're sad about this and that.
Welcome to another edition of the Ono Radio Show, episode 637. Let's all go to 7-Eleven. Everybody, it's been a week. It's been a week for those of us here in Florida. A lot of people are probably sick of hearing about the hurricane, old Milton, but it's just our reality. So we gotta
get some rain.
We gotta hop on here,
Little rain.
and we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta talk about the hurricane. We gotta talk about how everything is going, and yeah, like finally, man, when that thing passed, and yesterday, it just all kind of like hit. Like it was sort of just like this emotion, like this dump of like dopamine that was finally free from my body. You know what I mean? Like there was like this weird, like tension that had to get released, and yeah, finally we're there. We're at the point we can do a show. We're at the point that we can have some jokes and bullshit around with each other. First off, my name's Owen. I'm the captain of this shit ship. Along with me is, of course, my good friend Ty from the Great White North. Someone who probably is pretty happy he was up there this time around.
Yeah, I don't think I'm alone with people that are away from Florida that missed hurricane season when it happens.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I know I shouldn't want to be there, but I do.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit because I've got mixed opinions on that myself. And, of course, we're here with Mikey B, my mustache muse. How are you, buddy?
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Mike B in the place to be. I'm back, lived through the hurricane, and I'm ready to talk to you guys about it.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we'll just start with that, Ty. It's interesting. Like, I have mixed feelings on hurricanes and living through them in general. I mean, I'm no stranger to them. I feel like I moved here from the UK in 93 with my family. So, in one way or another, I would say it's got to be like 40, 50? No, maybe not that high, but like 25 probably hurricanes, something like that in our lifetime. Like of any sort of note, me and you, Mikey, having lived here most of our lives.
I'd say I just turned 39. So, yeah, in the 39 years, I've never lived anywhere else. So, yeah.
It's got to be
maybe
30 for you, a few more than me just when you were super young before I moved over, maybe?
Well, I mean, you got to think. I don't think there's been many years where there were just no hurricanes.
Yeah. I mean, might have been a few years where we've just got like a pussy-ass tropical storm when it got to us that kind of just rolled through. But there's always at least one disturbance out there that we get some impact from here in like the Orlando area, I would say.
Yeah, so I would say, given that there's been at least one hurricane a year.
Sometimes three, like back in what, 05, 04 it was 04, Charlie, I think, right?
I would say Owen, you could probably easily claim like 30 to 40.
I think it's in that range, yeah.
And I could be easily 40 to 50 hurricanes in my lifetime.
Yeah. And there is something sort of exciting about them. I won't lie, right? Like there is a perverse enjoyment I get out of seeing the world sort of like close down and we go all sort of feral and Walking Dead and like there is a perverse enjoyment out of that I get out of that. And it was the same sort of way when COVID kind of even hit, right? Like there was this kind of like, ooh, this sucks, but it's scary, but it's also sort of like, I don't know.
I want some more.
A little exciting and a little like, ooh, it's a little dangerous, right? Like, so there is something to that. I felt that way, all week. But as this thing just, I think with all of us, we felt this thing just like kind of see it go from like nothing, like 0 to 60. I mean, like, or 0 to, in this case, 160. In a matter
200.
in a matter of just a day or so. So like that was what was kind of just like, oh shit, like the whole week for us. I don't know. I can't speak for you, Mike.
I mean,
but
I see that shit too. Like,
Yeah.
I still unplugged into all Florida shit.
Well,
like
yeah,
all the
it's
time.
it's all on your social media feeds because
Yep.
of your friends. It's everywhere for you. So like, I'm sure you lived vicariously through this storm in the same way.
Most certainly.
But yeah, like it did get a little scary, but I definitely had a lot more anxiety this time around than I've had in probably years. Like this one actually got me a little more hyped up than than I expected, and it was just like every day this. I think they always do this to these fucking storms. Like they expect them to hit on this. You say it's Wednesday, and then it's always just like it gets delayed, and like it slows down, and it just increases that tension and anxiety, and it's just like fucking get here, just do this, like because you've got all your supplies, you're ready to go. It's go time now, and then you've got it's gonna be another 26 hours before it hits.
Yeah, and the problem is if it holds too long, you start anxiously burning through supplies that you're just like, because I think the other issue is when you buy hurricane supplies, especially food related hurricane supplies, you tend to buy like shit that you don't even normally buy. Like you buy yourself extra goodies and tons of snacks, and you're like, I guess if I'm gonna be miserable and the power's gonna be out, I'm gonna eat only the
cool shit,
the coolest, nicest things. So if the hurricane delays like 2 days, you've got all this shit in your house just staring you in the face. Like, I had friends who, even though this one only delayed like maybe a day,
about a day,
roughly,
roughly. And then it sped up at the very last minute and hit earlier than they expected. So it was
right.
It's dumb.
I knew people who were like, oops, already drank through my hurricane booze, going back out to get more.
Yeah, and then right
booze.
as the storm is hitting, you're running to 7-Eleven to get the last White Claws that are there, and thankfully that didn't happen with me this time. I do have some good friends. I mentioned them on the show. My good friends Gina and Freddie, who live not too far from me. My little Mexican man who does all the work for me. By the way, he's got some fence repairs to do, so we'll talk about that in a bit. But but he he's hitting me up. The storm is literally hitting. He's like, "Hey, is the Commission open?" Which the Commission beer chamber is right down the street from me. This bar down the street from me.
No,
I'm like, and it probably was. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like,
I'm not there.
I'm not walking. Like, he's bored, inviting us over as like the four sippers, like waves of the storm are rolling through him. Like, he's like, he's out there barbecuing and like fucking.
Yes, you did go over there.
I didn't go over there. I'm like, I'm in. I would have loved to, but no, I didn't.
That's the spirit I miss. I would love that.
Well,
like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's barbecue right now.
And the last time I went through, like, this had so many similarities to Charlie. Not only its path, but like, and that was the last one that like truly, like, we had one a couple years back where we lost power for like 2-3 days, I want to say. But with Charlie, that impacted me the most out of any hurricane in my life, and I think that's probably the case for most people that live in Central Florida. And
that was like my introduction to Florida.
That is a hell of a introduction, because that thing was nuts. And I know I was out of power it was right around 10 days and it was right at college. I was living on my own. It was in the first year of my living by myself, no parents, all that. So it was like this was very similar to that. And back in those days, I remember it was, man, like of course, it was college days. I wasn't even 20 years old yet, because I went to school at 7. I was 17, I think. Like,
this motherfucker can't even buy beer.
No, I couldn't. I mean, I was having people buy beer for me. Like, I had my crew. But no, I was 18.
That was me at Full Sail. Like
Yeah,
right then.
yeah.
Like I had moved down here, just started, and then that shit rolled in. And it was like, God damn.
And all of us partied hard,
we
dude.
partied.
Like it
Yeah.
was. I remember we all got slaughtered during that storm. And I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I sat up drinking. I stayed up through the whole thing. I stayed up. I can't sleep anyway when it's something like that that's going on.
No, why would
that,
you sleep?
That
Fuck
tension, that anxiety is going crazy. It's almost an excuse to stay up stupid late and drink, right? So I thought we were done. I even made a post on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, we got really lucky, still got power. I think I'm basically gonna turn
All good.
turn it in for the night. And then there's the one last, big thing, and it was like the dirty part of the storm, as they say, that comes through that. So like the winds have now like shifted. So they were coming from the west, now they're coming from the east. And that's when I'm about to go to like wind down, go to bed. That's when that started. I'm like, well, fuck. Like the lights are flickering. I had already plugged everything back in.
Where did you live? Which spot?
During that time with Charlie, I was living off of Goldenrod in Crane's Landing. Basically,
You were at Crane's Landing.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, the corner of University and Goldenrod, real close to that area.
I was at Whisper Lakes, like right around the corner.
That's the one off Cimarron.
Yeah,
I know that place. I think. Oh, I remember Whisper Lakes. I went to a party there during college. And
I went to Crane's Landing a lot.
The cops busted the party, and we all like, and everybody, it's the stereotypical thing. All the kids run, and like, that neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken, you had to have like a swipe to get in, or like, 'cause it had a barrier. I want to say, or a gate or something. Like it was hard. It was a bitch to get.
I can't even remember.
I think it was a bitch to get in and out, and you had to have like friends buzz you. And I remember like, because they were at the party, like whoever invited me, and I was calling them, and they couldn't get me in.
Yeah.
So I parked around the back end in like some commercial industrial complex type area that it backed up to, and jumped the wall. Then when I remember when the cops came, they busted the party. I had to run and jump over that wall again to get back to my car to go home. Shit-faced drunk. I remember I jumped the wall, and I basically fractured my ankle, like my foot, like complete, like, and so now I'm trying to run from the cops. I'm crawling like basically, what is that? Like what do you call it when you're just like
Army crawl?
Crawling. Yeah, I had to army crawl to my car because I couldn't walk on my fucking foot. I was like in so much pain. You ever black out from pain? I blacked out.
Or the alcohol.
Both. But I was blacking out as I was driving home, and I literally like just made it home before like I like passed out from pain. Like I literally got to my parking spot. I'm like, and real stuff. Yeah, guys, you shouldn't do this. I was young.
Guys,
I was dumb.
You know that I already feel like I'm an evolved human being.
Yes, Mike. You tell us all the time.
Yeah, better than everyone.
Yeah.
Natural next stage.
Next level.
Might be next stage.
Yeah, you're highly evolved.
So with these back-to-back double hurricanes that we've dealt with, and given the amount of times that I've passed through hurricanes with no damage, no power outages, I'm now beginning to think that not only am I the next stage of evolution, I've also think that in evolving, I've gained some level of divine protection.
Oh, okay. So is maybe the hurricane scared of you that it
or just that
respects you enough to not fuck with the entity
very
that
locally,
might be?
but
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Because I haven't lost power in 20 years.
God damn it, Mikey.
I've never dealt with any hurricane damages.
You've also
it seems like
lived,
anywhere I go.
Okay, here's the part of it too, though. You've only lived in like 1-bedroom tiny apartments where there isn't a lot of damage.
Hold on. I'm just saying, no damage.
You don't have fences to worry about, Mikey.
I think maybe my minimalism is also
well, I mean, there is something to be said for that. If you don't have a yard like mine with a bunch of dumb accoutrement around, like you have nothing to clean up before the storm, right? Like you've got your anxiety was probably a lot lower than mine because you had a lot less to prepare and do, right? Like, do you? Okay,
dude, you know what all my preparation was? We brought our trash can in, our valet trash can, because I live in a swanky joint.
Oh yeah,
we have valet trash. I don't have to take it anywhere. I put it on my front porch, and someone picks it up off my front porch.
I never lived in an apartment complex. Like I've lived in plenty of apartment complexes. Never lived in one that had that. We always had the stereotypical trash mountain like you used to have. That's good you don't have that anymore. So that's a positive.
It's within. I can stand on my porch and see, but now Trash Mountain is like a small mountain on the horizon.
Yeah, and it's not your concern anymore. The Trash Mountain.
It's not directly across from my window anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's a positive.
But yeah, now given the history, now not only have I evolved past you guys, I think the gods have taken favor to me as well.
More power to you. More power to you. So yeah, that was the extent of your hurricane preparation. Did you get any water or snacks? Like, did you just stock up or just normal stuff?
We bought. So Janine, I guess, went and got hurricane supplies, but did it like before she went to work. And then I got out of work and also bought hurricane supplies.
Oh,
you're damn right.
So you had double hurricane supplies. That's good.
Yeah. But coincidentally, we both bought pretty much the exact same thing.
Let's hear it.
Hormel chili. We have about
6 cans.
Eight more cans, and two of them are like the family-sized mega cans.
So the Burlero house is going to be smelling great.
I eat beans with almost every meal. I'm English in that way, and that there's almost always beans with my meal.
Oh, that's more of a Spanish thing.
They're more like English beans.
Oh, you like a good old fashioned baked bean.
I do. I'm
you know what?
Baked bean fan.
I knew I liked you for a reason, Mike.
So yeah, there's a lot of Hormel chili, and we have it in varieties from the normal. Every one of them has beans because chili without beans
isn't chili.
Is not chili in my book.
I agree.
I know there are regions of America that would disagree with me, but you guys can all keep that beanless chili.
Yeah.
So yeah, we still have a boatload of Hormel chili in all sorts of varieties. About 8 cans of tuna. And about 8 cans of the like chicken. Like canned chicken breast. Because dude, I have realized my diet is going super protein heavy.
Yeah,
I'm only eating pretty much like just
you're gonna get
beans and meat.
You're gonna get what is it? That rabbit? There's like rabbit flu or there's something that happens when you're out in the wilderness and all you eat is protein, and it's like, it's not good for you. You're like yeah.
Oh no! The rabbit disease is like rabbits don't. I don't think they have like enough of the right protein.
It's something like that. If you if you just were to eat only rabbit for a period, of a long enough time,
you end up your body gets fucked up. You're not getting the right protein. But either way, that and a bunch of rice. We just have like shitloads of rice because I'm like, dude, I can cook that on my barbecue like grill. We have like a little propane grill.
So you were prepared in that way. You're good to go there. Yeah. You got and you have a big propane tank or one of the screw-in little green guys.
We have like 4 or 5 of little screw-in green guys.
Okay.
For like our little camp. We have like a little pop-up camp grill.
This is all good stuff. That sounds like adequate, honestly, pretty adequate hurricane preparedness stuff. Did you fill your tub?
Nah.
Didn't fill your tub with water. Didn't do that. Okay.
Got bottled water from work.
All right.
And then some candy, of course.
Well,
need candy.
Mike can't live without candy. Yeah. Any booze?
Yeah.
Did you get any booze? Just to,
I got one 750 of vodka, and there's still
you
some
and
left.
you and that shitty vodka. What do you could do better than this, Mike. You could do
Let
better.
him have his vodka.
I
Let
No,
him have.
it was like $10
Okay,
for
all right, a
like
750. All right,
yeah,
Pop-Off's
750.
finest.
No, I went Gulf Coast. It's ABC's brand.
Okay, all right.
ABC does pretty good with all their
They
like
do. They
their
do.
standard brand.
They're
Not great,
they're
but it's
knockoff
better
stuff.
than
Yeah.
It's half decent.
I'll
but
say
yeah.
I'll say this: your hurricane preparedness was better than I thought it would be. I felt like Mike B is the type of person to just like not even like just treat it like a regular day. You know what I mean? Like or
Pretty
Dude,
much.
we
That's-
didn't lose power, so I just stayed up and I played video games pretty much all night. I went outside when it was completely dark outside and like the wind was whipping.
I
And
went outside a few times for a smoke in between bands. You know, you
No,
time it. You time it.
I'm talking mid wind whip.
Yeah.
Did a little outside sprint in the nude.
Mm.
Love a little
Yes.
nude.
You actually
hurricane
did it. You
sprinting.
actually
yeah,
did it
yeah,
again.
of course.
All right, good
It
for
was
you.
it was a lot scarier this time because like unlike the last apartment we lived in, this one there's definitively not a lot of dark space here.
Okay, yeah. So,
There was a little bit of just like
ugh,
Wee.
I might get a sex
and I gotta
offender
go
charge.
upstairs. The other problem is I gotta go
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah. That is a thing. That is a thing.
Man,
So
yeah.
other than that, I
yeah.
was good though.
That's good. That's good. I was I think a little bit more freaking out. So my prep was pretty intense.
Classic Owen.
Classic Owen, but I had a lot of the stuff already, right? Like I have a shelf in like a closet we have in the house. It's like our where we keep a lot of the cleaning supplies, things like that. And I have a top shelf that's full of it's got my 2 weather radios. It's got that's where I keep the Jesus candles. I feel like Jesus candles, like any like Catholic like saint candle, that's the proper hurricane candle that I personally believe.
I've got a few fun ones. You got to get the fun art.
Yeah, so I have a lot of that stuff. I got a lot of like, even for like the studio, I got like a lot of these little plug-in rechargeable battery powered LED lights, which come in really handy. Those are good. I got I brought in my solar lights that are light up part of my yard. I brought those inside because those are great, right? I can use those as a light source. I got plenty of candles. I got 2 camping stoves. So I have one that runs off like the big propane tank. So when I got a new thing of propane, and that was actually funny. It was as things were picking up, I'm like, damn, I need propane, and I haven't used this thing in forever because I have a charcoal grill now. I don't like use actual propane on my grill. So I went down to the 7-Eleven. I'm like, oh my God, are they going to take this propane tank? Like, you know how you do the swap-a-rooney? Like, you get the old one.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I got the guy that gives no shits that works at 7-Eleven because this thing is not meant to hold any propane anymore. It was so rusted. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you poked it hard enough with, like, a stick or something, it would, like, crumble the actual propane tank into itself.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I went and I'm like, you do the thing where you leave it outside. I'm like, basically like trying to like stand in front of it so he doesn't see it until I hold the new one, the brand new one. It's like, he did take a look at it. He's like, whatever. It's like, he just, so I did enjoy doing that. Otherwise, like, oh yeah, so I ordered a couple things. I ordered in enough time I got a Amazon delivery of some sandbags to fill up myself, so I got those, which I'll tell you about in a sec. And then I also bought a bunch of Sternos because I have a little
but let's
Sterno.
rewind right away. Let's talk about how many Sternos you bought, sir.
It was it's 12 of the big cans. I think it was they last about 4 hours. So
Pretty sure you said more than that. Pretty sure.
Well, I thought I ordered 20 of the smaller ones, which last 2 hours, but it was I think they gave me the wrong shit. Either way, I had a bunch of fucking sterno.
Boatload.
And I have a boat, and I've used Teresa. We did lose power. It was basically as the storm was done at 5 a.m. It was almost like over. We only had like another hour, 90 minutes to go. And that's when we lost power. We got it back at like noon the following, like it was about 6 hours or something we were without power. But she did use one of the Sternos to make a cup of tea in the morning. So she was able to boil the water and make a nice cup of tea. So but it got lit once, it got put out, and that was that, right? So that was it with the Sterno. So now I got all this fucking Sterno. Mike, this is actually a question for you because you've been in the catering world or just kitchen world for a while.
Right.
What is the proper method of storing the Sterno? Because Teresa's actually a little weirded out. She's like, I don't know where where it's safe to put this. I mean, I'm like, we'll put it next to the fireworks and the propane and the gasoline. It'll be fine.
Definitely not there. Basically, store it somewhere where it's gonna stay like relatively like neutral heat. You don't really want it heating up, or it's gonna kind of expand. And if it's
in the
full,
yeah, I was thinking in the hot ass shed would be perfect, or in my attic where it could, like the hottest part of my house. That's probably not a good idea.
yeah, probably the bad place. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, all right.
I would say probably you're definitely gonna want to just, I would say probably somewhere low, dark,
store in a cool, dry place.
Cold, dry place, probably the best for you.
Right. What about I read online. I've gotten mixed reviews on this by reading it online because I was looking up, is Sterno safe to use inside? And I'm like, well, of course it is. They use it at like weddings, and they use it at like I
wouldn't use it to like heat things inside of a closet. Maybe the fumes are not the best.
But
it's
if I put
to
my little camping stove on my stove and used it in the kitchen, I think that's fine, right? To just boil some water. That's fine. Okay. All right. I did want to just make sure.
I wouldn't have an issue with that.
Yeah, I did want to make sure of that. But yeah, so that was part of, my prep. I got my all my water jugs filled, so I had a good 15 plus gallons of water just in case it was needed. I filled my bathtub just in case I needed to do that, to use it to flush the toilets or whatnot. And then I did the sandbag thing. So it was my first ever time in all my hurricanes. I've never done a sandbag. Have you done sandbags before, Mike?
No,
never.
Especially the last couple of years because we have we've been on like second floor for the last couple of years, and now we never really needed a sandbag.
Yeah.
I've helped some people sandbag like their places, but it was also like I showed up to the place and they were like, hey, we got sandbags coming in, so if you could just help us like the doors,
shovel them in. You didn't do the shoveling part. You did just the
they were just bringing us
the hauling
sandbags.
Got it. I mean, that's nice. So that was the thing. There was a whole thing with the sandbags because there was like
how many did you get? How many did you?
Well, I bought a pack of 20, but I used.
How many did you fill?
I filled 10. I filled 10 of the sandbags. But I wasn't about to go and sit in these dumbass lines and you know what I mean? And like actually get like sick. So
yeah, but I imagine your yard. Where are you strategically placing your 10 sandbags?
My 10 sandbags went on, like, how I have like the 2 doors. I have the one door in the very front that we never use. And then I have like the door that comes in. So I put them on the doors because we have got older house with older seals, and you got cheap ass rent and don't really want to complain too much to the landlord. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things that, yeah, in strong storms, when the wind like blows the rain, it has done before where it comes inside, right?
Okay.
So that was what all I did was I basically just like stacked 5 on each door, which it was fine to do it on the front door, but then and my side door, which is the one that everybody uses,
Right.
that one, my door opens inwards, but I've got a patio screen door thing. That one opens outwards. So it's like you can only, like I have to close that because that thing could fly off, right? So I have to close the door. I can't keep that open, the screen door. But how then, if it opens outwards, do I put the sandbags on it and then get inside? So that was that was kind of like I did it just enough on like the bad end to where I could just sneak out for a smoke. Like I could, like my skinny ass could just go, zoop, you know, and zip through. But yeah, I did that. And then just in case, I talked about it at the opening of the show. I made some of Owen's world famous door sausages. And
I hold on.
yeah.
Just
Please.
in case. Just in
Yes.
case.
So
So
the door sausage is an invention that I've made to keep from water intrusion coming in from the bottom of the door, right? And basically it is a bunch of towels and or any sort of random fabric I find. Like I had a bunch of random shit in the studio, like old flags and things, and I wrapped into a sausage, and then zip tied them in 3 places and made a door sausage that would go I made 2 of them, one in front of each of the doors, so it would be a way to mitigate the water intrusion. And I think that this is a marketable idea. Owen's door sausages. I think people actually have things like this up north
Man.
to keep like the heat in and stuff, like in cold times. Don't they have things like door sausages? I think my mom had a door sausage.
I'm just saying we can market this. Like we could use what you just said, make some sweet animation for it,
Owen's door
making
sausage.
millions tomorrow.
Yeah, the oh no door sausage. Because oh no, there's a storm coming. You need a door sausage. That's hey.
Oh no, there's a storm coming.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's part of the tagline. Oh no, there's a storm coming. Oh no, door sausages. Yay. You know, like it. You know? See, that's part of the marketing.
Today with Oh No Door Sauce.
We got mediocre semantics in the chat room. Hey, I'm wearing my semantics t-shirt. They're asking Ty, what sort of snack that you got there?
So I think I'll be here all through first segment, but you know, I got to shout out my dad because he makes these sliders.
Oh wow, look at that.
Look at these fucking things.
Is that
banging?
Is that like a pork slider?
Oh damn.
What is that?
That was from a ham.
Ham and cheese slider type scenario?
Yeah, but I mean it when I say my dad makes some real fucking banger. Like I had a quest last year just to give him any banger I could imagine, and he made them, and they were great. Fuck, kills me.
Well, that looks good. Question from semantics again. Am I keeping the sandbags? I saw a person in my neighborhood throwing theirs away, and it just seems so wasteful, especially when the hurricane season isn't over yet. I agree with that statement. I have, to this point, I've just stacked them up kind of like behind my house near where piss fence is. So they're back there, so we don't have to look at them, because every time I look at them, it reminds me of the storm and it gives me anxiety. Like that was another thing. Like the following day, me and Teresa just like once it had passed, we wanted to just turn everything back to normal, right? Like just got, I don't know, get things normal. So that was one of the things I did is I put them back there. And I guess for me, like I didn't have the problem where I didn't sit in line to get sand. I didn't go buy sand. I just used the sand from my yard. You know, I just dug up little holes and filled them myself. And that seemed to suffice. I had a bunch of dirt.
You cannibalized your own yard? You didn't go collect foreign sand to protect your house?
I didn't collect foreign sand. I used all my own sand. I have, I'm into my plants too, so I had a big compost dirt bin. So I used all the stinky compost in there. So that I put that.
What
in
if it
there.
would have? What if it would have broken through? What if then you would have had stinky shit?
That's what the
water
door. That's
in your-
why you make a door sausage. That's why the oh no door sausage comes in.
That's why the oh no door sausage.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I just took. I had a big bag of potting soil that I hadn't used all the way yet, so I just took the bag of potting soil, put it inside the sandbag, zip tied, done. One big sandbag, done already. Boom, potting soil, done. So that did that. And then I dug little holes around my yard and filled them up.
I love this so much.
and then I had a bag of those like decorative sort of little tiny rocks that you put in plants. Like I got some of those for my plants. I put those in one, and then that was that. I made another one with that. So I did it right. That with the door sausage, good to go. That's all you need.
It's super safe.
Mm-hmm.
Did you really think it'd flood there?
Well, again, it's more just when you get the sideways rain, we have cracks like at the very bottom of our door because of like bad seals. It does just like it blows in, right? Our street, it will flood, but we're on a slight incline, probably about a foot from the road. So we do have that luxury. But surrounding neighborhood, not necessarily our neighborhood, but like the next, like if you go to actually some of the more affluent parts, they actually flood like crazy. So it is always a worry to a degree. And if like they get backed up, it might back up to us. So I think it would be very unlikely for us. It would have to be extreme for it to get from the street, all the flooding all the way up to the house.
I agree.
But it was still something we took into consideration, I don't know. As far as me keeping the sandbags, what I'll probably do, I haven't done it yet, but I'll probably.
I need my rocks back.
Well, I need my
That's
rocks
my
back. I
potting
need my potting soil. I'm gonna take the ones with the compost, put that back in the compost bin, and then.
Are you gonna fill all the holes?
I was thinking about it, but I'm just probably gonna leave them and leave so now I just already got some sandbags made, or I'll just put the sandbag in the hole, cover it with some dirt, and then all I gotta do is pull it out of the hole, ready to go. Zoop, ready-made sandbag. I think that's what I'll do. And then the ones I empty, I mean, I spent money on them. I'll just fold them up, toss them somewhere with all my plant shit, and then if I gotta fill them up again next time one comes around, I'll go dig some more holes. I guess I'll go across the street. I'll dig some holes. I was contemplating this too. I'm like, I didn't do it, but I was so close to doing it. Rather than digging up my own yard, I was thinking there's this empty lot where they knocked down the house where that guy died a while back. I was just gonna go. No one does anything over there, so I was just gonna go dig some holes over there, fill my bags with the free dirt. Do they own the dirt? Could I get in trouble for that?
Probably.
You think so? They don't own that.
Would you? I doubt it, but you could.
I mean, it just seemed like too much effort. I'm like, that means I gotta carry all the heavy bags back. Like I'll just fill them right here, Like that's what I did. Yeah, that's about. And then after the storm, I got that one tree in my yard. It's like I don't even know what it is. It's some bullshit that my neighbor, who's the plant guy, he gave to me. And it grows crazy, but it's like really soft wood, and apparently you can eat the leaves if you boil them. It's some weird ass survival, like Walking Dead type like thing that you plant. Like it's one of those. Okay. Right? He says it's like if you boil it and eat it, like it's toxic if you don't, but if you boil it, you can eat it, and it's like a spinach or it's like high in iron or something. So I don't know. I keep it there, but that's where I got my bird feeder and everything, and so that blew half the shit off. Half that tree just cracked and fell, which meant that yesterday I got to use my mini chainsaw that I bought?
Oh.
I got to use my mini chainsaw, and oh boy, fucking like butter, baby.
Boy, oh boy.
Worked like a charm. That $40 on Amazon. Absolute masterpiece. I chopped that bitch like nothing. Dragged it to the curb. Enjoy that, city of Orange County. Or whatever county.
Stick
of
that in your
Orange.
pipe and smoke it, you bitches.
Yeah. But I got
suckers.
And then I did, of course, I cleaned up all my yard. I put all the shit, in my little shed thing. And one thing I did, I haven't told this. I got to speak low on this one because I kind of kept this from Teresa.
I gotta speak low on this one.
Yeah, because Teresa might hear me from the other room, and I ain't told her any of this one. Okay, I'm moving all like the lawn ornaments. And I got my frog with the big eyes, my cracked out frog. My cracked out frog, right? And I got my what are those Easter Island type statue thing that I got, and I put those and I put them on top of my dryer, right? And I put the one down and I go out. I put them both down. I'm scurrying around the yard. I'm grabbing my bird feeders and all the bullshit, and I go, my shovels and all that. I put that back in there, and as I go back in, just a couple minutes later, after I put the statues in there, I notice that there might have been a bit of an infestation in one of the statues. Is all those big ass carpenter ants, those big fuckers,
Oh my!
And they were all over the dryer. They were scurrying because they must have made a little nest up inside one of them. And so now they were all coming out because I disturbed them and freaked them out. So yeah, I don't know where they went, but I went in there today and I didn't see no ants. So maybe they
made their way out.
Maybe you think they just escaped? You think that? I was like,
well,
I wasn't at the point where I was about to shit's getting real. I'll deal with the ants later, but I ain't seen them. So were they smart enough to get out of there?
I would say probably.
They might have.
I doubt they went back into the head or the statue.
Well, I put them back out yesterday and I didn't see them, so I don't know.
It might go back later. Who knows?
Yeah, but it's interesting with those. We've had a lot of those carpenter ants because we've had a ton of storms lately anyway. Just this year, and I think they get disturbed or something, and every time after a storm, the next day, we get a bunch of them on our porch, and me and Teresa got stung on the same day. We were with those big ass carpenter ants, and they're a weird sting. They're kind of I don't think I'd ever been stung by one of those big ones before because I used to
big boy ant.
Yeah. Because I used to just squish them as a kid. I don't know. They've never. If I've ever got one on me, I'm just pick it off and squish it and it's done. I don't think I've ever gotten bit by one until last week, and they have. It feels. It doesn't last as long, but it feels almost like a bee sting or a wasp sting. It's not
it's pinchers, right?
It
don't
must be.
Sting you.
I don't know. Maybe it is. It's a bite. Yeah, I guess it's more of a bite than it is. But they must have. Yeah, they got big ass pinchers, and it feels like a wasp. That bit me. Remember I got bit by the wasp too a couple weeks back, about a month or so back. So, but it felt very similar to that. It had this kind of I don't know. It totally different than getting bit by your standard little ant or a fire ant. But then it's gone. It was gone within a couple hours. You didn't feel it. It wasn't itchy. That's the worst part about if you get bit by a ton of ants. You step in an ant pile, you get bit all over your leg or something. I remember I did that as a kid. It was it hurt like shit, but it was the itchiness. And it almost if you get bit by enough of them, I feel like it almost poisons you because it almost makes you feel I don't know. I remember as a kid it happened. I remember it was it felt like I had the flu. I feel like I got a temperature.
You got a sickness?
Yeah. It's almost it felt like a sunstroke or something. You ever had that?
Well, they submit toxins and shit when they bite you, and when you get a whole. Yeah, that's the one. But yeah.
You said it like they gave them a paperwork packet. They submitted the toxin to you.
Yeah.
Here you are. We bit you.
I didn't sign off on these toxins.
Takes about 5 to
Um,
6 business days for you to get sick.
Yeah.
That happened to me at work one day. Like we were doing a commercial at what the fuck? It was like one of those random electronic stores over by Colonial Mall.
Okay.
And I was just sitting in the parking lot smoking before work started, like chilling on like a parking divider, sitting down. And I got fucking ransacked by fire ants. Like that shit fucked me up.
Yeah, dude, those things are no joke, man. Fire ants, they'll get and I think they like if one gets you, is it? Maybe I'm thinking of bees.
I
or
have no
something.
idea, but it was.
But I feel
it
like
was
it encourages
terrible.
other ones to bite you. Like they send out like the bat signal to the other. The
Well,
ant
I think they
signal
were
goes-
just crawling on me.
Oh.
And then like the signal went off and all of them that were on me just
Yeah, I think there is something to that though. Like they like if there's a threat, they work together to like kind of destroy the threat. Like they try and they get you, and then it like get all their. It's like, hey buddy, come over here, bite this dude.
that shit was terrible.
Yeah, nah, they suck.
And I worked through it, but it was terrible.
So all in all, though, for me, I had one big fence panel go down by the P fence, and it's the one that separates me from my neighbor, like way back in my back area. So I can't be nude in the studio anymore because someone could be back there. But like I said, I'll just get my Mexican to come and fix it up for me. We already discussed it, and I took a picture. Oh, here's something. I took a picture and sent it to my landlord, who I haven't seen in a while. He's an old dude, right? I think he's like 87. He's pretty old dude, and he's like a tough old man, super cool. And I was just being like, I know he lives in I think he lives in an RV or a mobile home, something like that. And so I was, hey, just checking in with you, making sure you're okay, that you weathered the storm. Nothing like huge, but just letting you know, like this part of the fence like blew down. Like took a picture, sent it over to him, typical stuff, right? And he gets back to me and he's like, "Oh, thank you, Owen. I won't be able to."
Oh, thank you, Owen.
I
appreciate you.
Yeah, you're the best tenant. And
Your landlord is also now Old Man Statham.
is he? I don't know why.
Oh,
it's like not at all.
Appreciate you
actually,
bringing
like-
me the rent boy.
No, he's
when
like-
it's due.
He's more like a southern, talks real slow like this and says, hey, thank you, Owen.
Hi.
I appreciate you giving me the update. I don't think I'm going to be able to take care of that, unfortunately. I don't have a fence guy. If you've got anybody that could maybe help with that, I will gladly pay them. Just let me know what it would take. I personally would do it myself, but I have to rest up for 2 weeks, the doctor says, because I just had a heart replacement. And I was like, holy shit. This old man had his whole heart replaced. I didn't even know that's a thing that you could do. I've heard of like valve replacements or whatever.
Whole heart.
But a whole
Swap it out.
heart. Have you heard of that before? Did he misspeak? Did he
Wait, a whole heart replacement? Can they even do that?
That's what I was just asking.
I mean, you can get a heart donor. It doesn't always work.
He's like
but,
87, and I think he got like a full fucking heart.
I mean,
replacement.
wow.
Like,
you give him a
badass.
week. He'll come do it in a
That's
week.
kind of what I was thinking too. Like this motherfucker's gonna show up like in 5 days because he's bored and he's just.
Well, you're going to give him a quote, and it's going to be all the fucking fence people going crazy right now and be like, it's only going to be $12,000
Right.
for two panels.
Yeah, it's gonna be so outrageous.
He shows up in his fucking, like whatever the hospital
Yeah,
gown. He's just
exactly.
like, I got this.
Yeah. I mean, where do they get the heart? Is it a human heart or is it like a pig heart or what do they do?
I don't know, man. I'm sure. Well,
Can you look that up and talk about it? Because I forgot.
No,
to
I'm
pee.
pretty sure you have to have a human.
You
part on
probably
that
do.
one.
Tell
There
me in a
might
second.
be-
Tell me in a second. I really have to pee. I forgot to pee before the show. So just give me.
Oh,
give me 2
Jesus.
seconds. Look it up. Though. Look it up while I was gone.
Owen's going pee while we look up some information.
Oh, wait. You can use a pig heart.
I mean, I've heard that
Oh,
shit, but
now
I've
hold
never-
on. There was
Pig heart parts?
one in 2022, and then the second one happened last year. Okay, so maybe it's not so common or real or even happens all the time. I think mainly they make you use people hearts.
I think that's pretty more common.
Wait,
for
could I
sure.
use like a monkey heart? Could I?
I don't think so, man. Pig hearts.
Could I get a chimp transfusion?
I think pig hearts
Can
are
people
the only reason we know
use
that is because it's
monkey
been said before.
blood?
Like pig hearts are very similar.
Membroman.
Did you find any heart info?
It could be
Yeah,
cloning hearts.
yeah. It's. I looked up like, can humans use pig hearts, and it said the first pig to human transplant was 2 years ago, and then the second one was last year. So I think you can.
Yeah, I think
But
I know
it's-
I've heard. I know I've heard about. I think I've heard about it. Like pig heart transplant. If you could have any animal's heart, which heart would you get?
Ooh,
Any?
Any
Fucking
animal? Any animal.
probably like a tiger's heart.
Oh, be fierce. Very
So fucking.
so
I'd just be like,
yeah. You know.
ah! I'd go feral immediately.
Yeah. Hippo heart for me. I'll go for
Nice.
yeah, go for a good old hippo heart. I feel like, you know,
Can I get
What?
a humpback whale heart? Is that
might be a
allowed?
little big.
I don't know that
Can I get a
that'll fit inside
blue
your
whale
body, bro.
heart? Just give me like jumper cables. It'll be cool.
What would it? I guess you would pump less. No, you would your heart if you had like a big animal's heart, it would pump. It would pump just like once every minute, right? Like it would.
But it would pump,
like,
so you'd be like, oh, God.
I become the fastest, most wild runner in the world, but I have this big old heart, just like in
Yeah.
a glass case that I carry with me.
Yeah, dude. I wonder. Okay, so there's another thing that happened.
Wait, what if I got like a
yeah.
hummingbird heart?
Oh, so it's
You're
constantly.
gonna die. You're gonna die quick.
Yeah, but he might be really. He could be. He might be really fast though. He could be really fast. He starts fluttering. You know.
Everywhere I'm like, I develop a taste for only sugar water.
They like honey.
That's
right?
kind of
Yeah.
already true.
Yeah, that's kind of what you drink anyway, isn't it? Isn't Mountain Dew or what all the bullshit that you drink your Bang energies?
Well, that and we've been on the popsicle game heavy lately, like the like basic cheap like little frozen flavored water
yeah. I think you
in a
mentioned that
plastic
last
sleeve,
Yeah.
and I'm eating them like 3 at a time. So I mean, I'm kind of already hummingbird.
You do eat like a 4-year-old child.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
yeah, fair enough. So Ty, obviously you know what we do down here for hurricane prep, but what's it like in Wisconsin? Like, do you have big storms that you need to necessarily do the same type of thing up there? Because I know you'll get like a blizzard, right?
Yeah.
You'll get those. So what do you do? What do you do in like a blizzard?
I still feel like, I don't know, man. Hurricane panic is different than our storm panic. Like,
But does it
this
happen?
is a little bit,
But not the
like-
same level.
not at the same level. No, like having lived through both, there are some shit storms. It does happen, and like, I mean, it normally won't hold you up that long. Most people are prepared up here to like snow blow your way out. And
Okay.
just,
You've already
you
got the
know,
stuff though, really, for the most
for
part,
the most
right?
part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to? Because I envision. Sorry, Mike. 1 second. I envision people up north when there's this big like thing coming like that. They're out there like getting firewood and chopping firewood and stuff. Is that a thing? You must have to do.
Yeah.
You probably have
Most
to do
people
a bit of.
have their firewood already. They chop it all
Yeah.
the time.
Right.
They're already stocked.
So they are already. Yeah. You pre-chop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's more.
Um,
There's no. There's not as much chopping down here.
Almost zero. You only chop after.
Yeah. We chop after, not before. You guys are the other way around.
Yeah. Ty, when a blizzard like comes on, how much lead time? Like, because we usually here in Florida, you get maybe depending on the storm, where like the storms that are coming out of the Gulf, obviously we get a shorter prep time.
But we get 5 days to at least a week, right? Like usually.
But like a regular storm that's coming from like let's say Africa, we've started watching it like 2 weeks out, and they start telling you,
Yeah.
Right.
10, 12 days out, like, yo,
This
there's
could be a
storm.
possibility. This could be a
It's-
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we already kind of know what's happening with storms that come from that direction, because it's like, oh, it ravaged Haiti and Puerto Rico and the Bahamas, and it, when it wrecks the Caribbean, then we're like, oh shit, okay, well, looks like we're gonna not be able to. Okay, this is gonna be another big one.
Mhm.
So when it's a blizzard tide, do you have like a week's worth of time where they're like, damn, this blizzard is just fucking, it's fucked
Like-
up Montana and both
No,
of the Dakotas.
It's definitely not the same. Like, you might, maybe at most, like 5 days of that might become shitty. 3 days to that's probably going to be real shitty.
Can it just creep up on you like in a day? Could that happen?
Kind of. I don't know. They're halfway decent at predicting these things, but when it gets wild, like when it's like feet upon feet of snow, like that shit, you got to prepare a little.
Yeah, because you are literally stuck in your house. Like we say we're stuck in our houses here in Florida, but I can at least, sneak through to get a smoke in there, but you are literally like you're walled in. You don't get out of that, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's there's a garage connected, so we could at least have a spot to smoke if I had to.
Right. You'd go in the garage.
Oh, and real quick, sidebar tangent. How bad does the storm have to get before you're smoking in your kitchen?
Okay. So, yes.
So it sounds like this might have just happened.
No, I did not. Thankfully, like the last storm that rolled through here, we like the whole vape pen thing hadn't, the last bad one where we lost power. The whole vape pen thing wasn't really a thing. And both me and Teresa were smoking, she has since quit. She hits her vape, whatever. But yeah, we'll do that inside. That's fine. The last time though, I remember doing it probably about 10 years ago. I can't really place exactly which one, but it got to the point where yes, it was so bad. Like you really just couldn't go outside. You wouldn't even be able to get a cigarette lit. You know what I mean? Like it's just,
or it'd immediately waterlog a cigarette. It was raining that bad.
Just dangerous. So what we did is we used we have a little tiny window in the bathroom, and I remember basically opening that, taking off the screen, and kind of leaning out the window, standing in my bathtub, having that's what I did, and we put a towel underneath the door to block the smoke from getting into the rest of the house, and you know what? It didn't affect things too bad, because we were kind of half out the window anyway, just kind of like, and the wind was so strong, it was just zoo,
Should have used a door sausage.
You know what? That was pre-door sausage invention, but the door sausage can also
would have
be.
helped.
We'll market this to like the teens that want to smoke weed in the rooms. They need an Ono door sausage for the weed smokes as well. You know, like they can.
You're gonna put every towel maker out of business.
Yeah, I mean that's all it really is. It's just towels and zip ties. But you know, like you want to get the Ono branded one, and because well, we're gonna put some like fabric softener sheets in ours, so it's not got a nice smell. You know, we're gonna.
The Ono door floof.
Yeah. It's that.
Good, even better.
It's just like a sideways. It's a pivot to the product, you know, as they say in the industry here. You know,
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, the hurricane. I'm very. It is always kind of cool to see how much the world can come together after these sort of deals.
Yeah.
Because, man, you see immediately everybody's like, okay. I mean, at least in like the social media eye of my friends, you see a lot of people that are like handyman or tradesmen. I got a good buddy who's like a roofing contractor who's like, yo, just give me a call. Like we will figure out who to get you in touch with.
That's huge. No, that's for a lot of people too. Like in that scenario, like if you've had your roof blown off your house, the last thing you want to do is deal with unreputable companies that, you know, like go through the stress of all that. So if you've got somebody that can like at least put you in like you know, in contact with the right people where you're not going to get ripped off, it takes some of that stress away. I think some of that goes unnoticed, and I think that's actually like a really, really big thing.
Oh man, dude. One of the worst I actually heard, my good friends Sean and his wife and family, just maybe like 2 months ago, finally moved back into their house from flooding damage from a storm like 2 years ago.
Ugh.
And then
house got reflooded again.
That's
when they're like, "Fuck this place."
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I mean, I had a friend,
but bro, like, what at that point? What do you even do? Like, you literally can't stay in that house if
it's like even just like the mold or whatever, right? Like all of that, like it would be,
you know. Yeah, pretty much no matter how much remediation you do, at some point, like when does an insurance company just go, hey man, like we're not insuring this house anymore because literally like it flooded, we fixed it. It's now been 2 months that you've been back and it's re-flooded.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, wouldn't they say like, hey man, you have to add drainage, put a ditch in, like do something, because this whole idea that it's just going, because
it's not going to get any better.
Yeah, dude, the storms are only getting worse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like, why they say Florida will be underwater in 20 years. You know, it's
dude. I mean, imagine knowing that in your own lifetime, like storms could get to the point where I mean, they're already talking about like category 6. Like, are we going to have to make
a new category
to facilitate the fact that these storms are just getting freakishly powerful?
And the thing is too, like what we just went through, it was slightly scary in the evening, like at its worst peaks, like that. And it hit us at a category 1. So to even fathom, right, like getting hit by 3s, 4s, 5s, and in as far inland as we are, like that to me, that's terrifying. And the thing, like I wanted to ask Ty about this too, because I don't think you get, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but like there was a lot of tornadoes with this shit, and like that is to me what's honestly like the most scary.
Yeah. They're more destructive. They're fucking...
Yeah, and I'm sure, Mike, did you get a bunch of, like, where your phone blows up, like, with tornado, like, hide in the closet warnings?
So I think it was Wednesday. We were open till about 4, and at 4 we had done maybe $500 worth of business. Because
It's not even worth staying open at that point, right?
well, nobody was coming out because everybody had just spent all their money buying food and supplies to stay at home. We had a couple Uber orders like as soon as we opened, but they also sat there for each one of those sat for almost an hour.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure
no Uber driver wanted to pick it up, right?
Well, I don't think there were almost any out because I couldn't find gas for like 2 days.
Okay.
Before the storm hit.
Yeah.
I got lucky with that one. I filled right at the right time and just think, oh, yep, it was just happenstance.
So I can only imagine that people were like, dude, it's been impossible to find gas. If you have gas, you're probably just sitting at home. You don't want to drive.
Yeah, because you want to conserve it for when it gets real tough.
Yeah, it started raining pretty badly, and around 4:00 we closed up, and by the time by like 4:30 when we were done like closing and tidying everything up, there were already tornado warnings to the point where my boss was like, "Hey, let's just chill here for a second before we start driving home."
Maybe.
Yeah, no, that's fair though. That's fair.
And so yeah,
and if
I
you're
went
the
out,
dick that's ordering Uber Eats when it's getting nasty, and then and then complain that your food's cold, fuck you. Like,
yeah,
like fuck
you
you
can
at
eat
that point.
100 dicks. Like just eat dick.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, the bad thing was I went to check on. We lost power at the restaurant for like 12 hours.
You lose a bunch of.
We lost like
stuff.
everything that was cold.
Yeah, so that's a loss for your owner, right? Like,
we have insurance.
Yeah,
I mean, we just had to catalog everything we were wasting.
I've never taken that into account. Like, I didn't realize that was a thing. It makes sense.
If you're smart, you have insurance for your food.
I'll be honest. I never put that together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are restaurants that don't, but the owner has owned enough restaurants. So he's like, no, we have insurance for it. We were honestly,
it's at that point, it's just more of a pain in the ass. You got to dump everything. Yeah.
To be fair, we were talking, and my boss was like, honestly, I hope that where the power is out for like 2 more days.
Let's see,
because
get a little break.
No, well, 1, we would get a break, and 2, then we get like crazy insurance payout because we were literally our business. We couldn't operate for 3 days.
Now you make money off it.
Yeah, and now we make a fuckload of money off of this.
Now this is.
Oh, bro, I was like, please just forget that our power grid exists.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. I'd be out till like Sunday night, and then we wouldn't even be able to get a truck. So I'd probably have to be. We wouldn't even open until like Monday, Tuesday morning, probably. I'd be fucking cakewalking.
I did want to talk about that a little bit. This is something I'll talk about it very, very briefly because it's sort of in flux for me right now. But I'm sort of going through a job career change of sorts, and you've always heard me talk about the factory. And I think my time at the factory, although maybe not completely done, it will be severely limited. My availability at that place is, let's just say they haven't done me right in quite a while, and I think just mutually we maybe be parting ways. Let's put it that way. And one of the reasons I truly don't think that they care about their employees is that they closed at 2:00, and my schedule would have had me out at 5:00. I did not go in. I refused. But by that point, I remember I was sitting on my couch about half an hour after the first real big, feeder band came through.
Yeah.
And it's about,
right.
And I'm like, if I was there, I wouldn't even be home yet. I'd be on the road driving in this shit. And that's what they don't take into account is people have to get their own shit done, right? They've got to clean up their yards. They've got to prepare. They've got to like, and that's the thing that really, really annoyed me. And it's like, it's not about what is the damage when it's going to hit you. It's about your employees and what they have to do. A lot of them have a lot longer commutes than I have, right? Like that'll be driving an hour into this in some of the beginning of the worst weather that you should not be on the road for. And it's a bone of contention. And I like, yes, we do have a very flexible, what they call a point system to be able to, call out in these scenarios. But I've seen so many people with like this braggadocious attitude, almost like looking down on people that didn't come in and like thinking like they're fucking heroes for going into work to what? Go entertain the fucking Brazilian tourists. Fuck you. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll say it straight up. I don't think our jobs are that important. We're not nurses. We're not policemen. We're not firemen. We're doing entertainment here. It can wait a couple days until those
I'll let
people...
my boss.
What's that?
I went in literally until the hurricane was like, go home.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I mean, dude, all we're doing, I'm making food. Dude, and I kind of understand maybe a little bit that like we're one of the few vegan establishments in Orlando left, but brother,
they can get their own fucking tofu and, make it themselves. If it, at the end of the day,
that's pretty much how I felt. I was like, come on, man.
What time? So what did you worked all day Wednesday or what?
Wednesday till about 5.
Yeah, see, that's about the time. Again, that's right around the time that first big feeder ban was coming through. I'm sure you had to drive through some pretty nasty stuff to get home.
Oh, dude, it definitely was not great. Thursday morning when I went to check on my job and to go find out, oh shit, we don't have power. The light at Cimarron and Aloma, that light is like 3 lanes wide going either way.
That's a busy ass intersection.
Yeah.
No light.
Completely
out.
Just off.
And dude, for like 4 hours.
It's like a free for all.
This light was off.
Ugh.
And I will say, luckily, I drove through it 4 times. The fourth time coming back through it, it finally had police officers at it. But I will say several times that I pulled up to it, you'd pull up, and in my mind, it's now just like a big stop sign intersection. You pull up, you stop.
Yeah, it's like a big ass 4-way stop. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of just wait until everyone has kind of also stopped.
And then you're like, okay, I think I'm going to go down.
Yeah.
Like, and you kind of cross your fingers and hope somebody else doesn't do the same thing at the same time.
Right. So mostly, I would say like 80% of people were doing what they were supposed to, coming to the intersection, stopping, and then kind of collectively as a entire side,
kind of like waving, and then like
and
you guys go now, and then we'll go, and yeah,
right. But there were also about 3 people that I saw that were going 45, 50 miles an hour and did not stop for not a fucking thing.
Yeah,
that shit's scary.
I mean, and that's the thing too. Like you said about people being like relatively good earlier, like as far as just like these things do help you, like connect on a human level. Hey, we're all going through this. There's a lot more niceties. Like, hey, good, you're at this gas station. You're just like, hey, man, good luck with the storm, or like be safe, or like a lot of those. And then there's the other side of humanity that is just like, nope, I'm more important than all of you. And you can just, I think it just brings what's already their nature out to the forefront. Like that was already there. It's nothing to do with the storm. They're just selfish asshole people. And I saw that when I was doing a little prep. I didn't want to go all the way to Publix, so I've got a Winn Dixie, which I hate going to. It's the trash Winn Dixie that I live next to. But I'm like, you know what, I can get my water. I can fill up my water bottles. Like it's an easier thing. My anxiety's already running high. I don't have to go to Publix, whatever. So we go to this Winn Dixie, and of course, Winn Dixies just in general bring in I'll just say a lower quality clientele. Is that I think that's a pretty accurate statement, right?
Judgy Owen.
Judgmental Owen.
This Winn Dixie is just full of trash people. Like, it's always full of trash people, and the trash people like come out in droves when there's a storm hitting. It was probably a bad decision. I probably should have just gone, a little further and gone to the Publix. While I'm walking around the Winn Dixie, I'm picking up some cans and stuff, whatever, right? Like, I'm getting my stuff. I happen to notice on 3 separate occasions, on 3 separate aisles, chicken wings on top, like eaten chicken wings, like the bones on top of different food items. Someone had gone and picked up one of those, chicken wing things from the goddamn whatever deli or whatever, and they were eating them as they were shopping and going around, and it was like Hansel and Gretel's like stones. Like, you could see their path as you went through the store of like, okay, yep, this guy, and they were just putting them on top of like food items. Who does that?
What is wrong with people? What in the wild hell has happened?
I consider myself to be a pretty trashy human. That is one I don't think I can even.
I mean,
come on,
brother.
We're not even us. We call ourselves scumbags, right? Not even us would stoop to that level. I don't think it would.
No, I don't think I could.
I would feel so bad. I've done the thing where I've been in a store, decided I didn't want to purchase it, and I put it in the wrong place at the store. I've done that.
You still feel pretty bad about it.
I don't feel great about it. And I would never do it if I'd taken something from a refrigerated section, like, oh, this pack of chicken, I don't want that anymore.
Right,
I'm going to put it by the chips or whatever. I would never do
Put it
that.
with the chips.
But if there's something that's just like, yeah, I don't want to walk back all the way over there. It's dry food. It's non-perishable. It can go, I'm sorry, stock boy, but you'll find it. You know what I mean?
What a dick. Dick Owen.
But that's about the extent that I would do to that, right? Like, I'm not putting my fucking chicken bones everywhere in the goddamn store.
I mean, you could. I wouldn't.
I also saw a guy, and I don't think it was dip or anything, but he just like straight up just like needed to spit and just went onto the ground inside the store. Like, if you do that,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Fucking nice. I the things I have seen since the hurricane has happened really do make me kind of want to just start living a little bit more heathenly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start spitting where I want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop like going and like excusing myself to fart. I'm just gonna rip
them everywhere.
Rip ass. Don't care.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna again like snot rocket. Just like launch. Just maybe I'll even cock my head up a little.
Yeah.
Snot artillery.
Right into the fresh bananas.
Fuck those bananas.
Bro, I'm gonna start dipping tobacco.
Oh, yeah.
Chewing tobacco and just start like wherever the fuck I'm. Who cares?
How about
if I'm in the grocery store and I gotta piss, to hell with finding your bathroom that's hidden in the back. Right. Oh, right in the lettuces. Right on the cabbage heads.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares anymore?
No one cares. That's the thing.
World's gone just savage.
It really has. So as much as you say, like, there is that like that percentage of the population that come together and do niceties, and like it happened at the beginning of even COVID. Like, I bring it up, right? Like, there were people like, we're in this together. You saw people being a little more friendly. You saw people like, but then there's the other side of it. And I don't know, man. I still think there's more good than bad out there, but there was a lot of bad I saw too.
A whole lot of bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, we so much bad.
Indeed. On that note, how about we take a 10-minute or so break? Come back with a little less hurricane talk now that we've given you the update, and do a second segment, do a little 2.0. Ty, I know you don't have a ton of time to stick with us through the second segment, but if you're cool, you want to just hang out for a little bit?
It's still like...
Yeah, you got like an hour.
Okay.
You got a little less than an hour. So, we'll get you for like some of that. We'll do some Ono show and tell, which I haven't even told these guys what it is yet.
That's good.
Is it my dick?
So, yeah,
show
I
and
know.
tell these nuts.
And then, I want to tell you guys about my dumb mailman and the loudest sound that ever existed. So I think because that's an interesting story, I think that we can discuss. Anyway, stick with us if you are on the Twitch feed, twitch.tv/ONRS live. If you want to donate some of your hard-earned money to help us out, please donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/ONRS. I believe there might be a D&D Mikey and Ty boner episode coming soon. Is that still happening?
No, it's already recorded. I just gotta
haven't seen those files.
Put some top and tail on it.
All right, yeah. If you want to take care of that, that'd be fantastic. Because I got a work trip and I can't do that shit. Anyway, and also we have a TikTok now. We're on the TikToks, guys.
What?
What did I make it? Did I make it Ono Media? I think I made it Ono Media. Do you remember?
You guys, I still don't TikTok. Is that weird?
Well, this was the first time I ever decided to do it, and I'm trying to build up our TikTok presence.
All the kids are doing it.
All the kids are doing it, including us. And that's at Ono Media, all one word. So please help me build my TikToks and help me become trendy like the kids be. That being said, thank you for joining us for this first segment. If you're listening on the podcast, we will see you with 2.0 a little later next week. And what do we say when we get out of here for the first segment, boys?
Your dream.
Welcome. Tickety fuck your dream.
Oh no 2.0. It's your second dose of Oh No for the week. My name is Owen. As always, I am the captain of your ship. Along with me here is, of course, my good friend Mikey B. Mikey, how are you?
I'm doing very good. I'm hanging in there, and I'm also great.
What are you, Borat? Is that a Borat? Did you just do a?
Oh, very nice. I'm very good.
I haven't heard it. I
Number-
like a good old-fashioned Borat impression. I think we should all
Number
start,
one in all of Krakow.
I think we should all start bringing that back. Ty's here as well. Yeah. So I've been, you know, I like to create characters every once in a while too, Mike.
Goddamn right.
I have my persona that I used to do on stage, called Liam Ritchie. He was basically a combination of Liam Gallagher and Guy Ritchie's names, just because I thought it was the most English sounding thing ever. And I've come up with a new one that I think might have to infiltrate the show. But his name is Swagger Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it now?
Yeah. And I think Swagger Johnson might be the greatest name that's ever encountered the world. He's pretty much the coolest dude in any room he goes into. Good old Swaggy Johnson. And I also think that you can sort of like use it as a verb from time to time, like, oh, I Swagger Johnson myself, or this guy out. Look at this guy. Look at this Swagger Johnson over here. You know what I mean? So I just want to throw that out there. I just feel like it should be part of the Ono Radio Show lexicon, in part of our world. And so yeah, Swagger Johnson, and I think everybody's got a little Swagger Johnson in them. And I want to see all of like our listeners and you guys as your best interpretations of what Swagger Johnson is and what it represents. But I also feel like he's a guy you sort of love him. You love him, but you sort of hate him. You know what I mean? Like Swagger Johnson is cool, but there's a little bit of you that hates him, but a little bit of you that wants to be him. So in the coming weeks, I want to see all of your Swagger Johnsons.
Oh, all of our Swagger Johnsons.
Yeah. And you can go ahead and post those in pictures of yourself as Swagger Johnson if you'd like in our Facebook.
You want us to
group.
send you pictures of our Johnsons?
That is of your Swagger Johnsons.
I heard you.
Facebook.com/group/Ono Radio Show, or if there's a way to interact on TikTok with that. I don't understand TikTok yet. So, but TikTok, I think we're at Ono Media. So find us on there for that. Swagger Johnson. You like that?
I'm still kind of hung up on this Swagger Johnson character.
I mean, what's your hang up? What's your hang up with him, buddy?
Where did he come from?
The depths of my brain in the middle of this hurricane, going a little mad. I just turned into Swagger Johnson. I was more asking Swagger Johnson where he came from. Well, I feel like he emanates from Miami, Florida. He's probably a South Beach kind of guy.
Is he a whitey or is he
I think he can be any race.
Cubano?
I think he can be any race. I think Swagger Johnson can.
He could be, but which one?
He transcends race, Mike. He transcends it.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because when you look at him, you're like, I think he's white, but I don't know. You ever see a person like that, where you're just like,
he's definitively not black then.
He could be. He could be. He could
Chinese?
be. He's not Chinese. He's not. That's the one thing. He's not.
Okay.
He's not Chinese.
I knew there was one. I knew there was one.
He could be. He could be a black guy. He could be Japanese. He could be South Korean, but I don't think he's Chinese. I just don't like. I don't see him as Swagger Johnson's not Chinese.
What about North Korean?
Oh, they got a Swagger Johnson up there. Swagger Johnson.
Oh,
Swagger
sure.
Swagger Johnson runs the whole thing.
So it's Swagger Johnson's Kim Jong Un.
Swagger, he's got a bit of Swagger Johnson in him. He does. He does. You know what I mean. Swagger Johnson. Yeah.
Swagger Johnson does seem like the type of guy that would feed a dishonest uncle to the dogs.
Is that what he did too?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He found out his uncle was either saying something shitty about him or trying to defect and go to South Korea.
They just shot him and killed him and fed him to the dogs, or did they do it alive? Was he alive?
Yeah, I would say they didn't bother to waste a bullet on him. Yeah. They just threw him in the room with the starving dogs.
Right. You got to feed him.
How many starving dogs do you think you could fend off?
I think a dog pack of 3 or under, depending on the dogs.
I could do 3. I think I could do 3. 10.
I think I could survive a dog sicking of 3. If we're doing German Shepherds, it may be down to 2 German Shepherds. I think I could fight off. But once you get to 3, I can't pay attention to enough dogs at the same time without one. One's gonna nip my leg, and then I'm going down, and then I'm done.
3 German Shepherds would be tough. I could do it if I had a crowbar.
Any implement.
Yeah.
You give me any metal rod instrument.
You think you could do it?
My survivability now goes up to 5 to 6 dogs.
Yeah, you're right. What about so no instrument, bare hands, nude.
2 dogs.
2 dogs. Yeah. I feel like
because at least if I have can I at least have a shoe on?
1 shoe?
I would prefer both, but if you're only going to give me 1, I guess I could work with 1.
But that becomes your instrument of
no, I'm gonna keep it on my foot.
Okay. Because I feel like
I don't want to kick a dog with a bare foot. I don't think it's gonna do much.
Nude, bro. I think 3 dogs nude, 4 dogs where they probably get me.
I think 4 dogs nude. At 4 dogs nude, I'm dead. I think at 3 dogs, it gets to 50-50. At two dogs nude, I win that fight 8 out of 10 times.
Okay.
I will become one with the dogs or die. They will either submit and we will be friends, I will submit myself.
Ty has gone full Beastmaster now.
He's just a hippie pacifist. He doesn't want to punch a dog. I'm going.
I'll kick 1 dog.
Yeah, if it's after me, me or the dog. Yeah, I'll kick it so hard, I'll fucking knock that shit silly, and then I'll go for its eyes. I'll fucking like the double eye thumb thing, and you just pop them out.
Oh, I'm stomping a paw.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's good. I do kind of a side swipe kick, hoping I get break 2 legs at once. You know.
Well, you think you can kick hard enough to break a dog leg?
I think so. Yeah.
From the side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I at least hurt it enough to where I could get another kick and boot it in the face. Then
I think if you can get a kick to center mass in just about any dog, I think you could probably put it to where it doesn't want to fight anymore.
What type of dog?
We're talking German Shepherd.
No, but
we're having a problem.
That's where we started, yeah.
Yeah. And I imagine, that's definitely one of the top of the list. But what do you think that Kim Jong Un had that he fed his uncle to? Do you think that German Shepherds? You think?
Let's see.
I feel like Rottweilers or something. Doberman maybe. They're fucking
one of those crazy nasty. Tibetan Mastiffs or some shit.
They're chill though. They're chill.
Yeah, they are chill normally.
Yeah. They're like your dog you had for 3 weeks that it was too big for your house. That
Walter, I miss you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is that dog dead now? You think?
Nah, I doubt it.
They don't live that long, right? They're like Andre the Giant. They got them big hearts.
Yeah, somewhere in the 10 to 15 if you're lucky.
Oh, really?
Years.
That's longer than Dawn, actually. What was
It
he?
looks-
He was a Beethoven, right?
Yeah, he was the Saint Bernard.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it looks like he raises these things called Pongsong dogs.
Oh, that sounds.
Pongsong dogs. They're just like these white, like large. They look like kind of like larger Akitas, basically.
Floofers.
Okay. Yeah.
They got a little floof to them, but they look like pretty normal, just like
They're kind of cute though,
blondish
right?
dogs. Yeah, they look kind of cute.
Poonsong dogs.
Pungsun. Pongsong.
All right. Let me look it up. That's also. Could we start a band?
I know, right?
Pongsong
Like,
dog.
yeah, I think it's a boy band. Poonsong dogs.
We'll just be cute puppers.
What are the Poonsong dogs? Hang on, I'm looking it up. I want to see one now. Oh, hang on. Wait. Some say that reggae, soft rock, and wait, this isn't not it. Hang on. How do you spell it again?
Pungsan.
Oh, S-A-N. I put it in as like song. Huh. Here we go.
Pongsong.
Got it. Oh, look at them. Yeah, they're kind of cute. But but they got they kind of have some muscle to them. Those would be
They're hunting dogs.
Yeah, those would be formidable opponents, but they are cute. I do like them. Those are neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they
Good to know.
look pretty cute. I mean, they look like medium-sized dogs. Yeah, I mean, I'd like one. They look kind of cutish.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. I put a poll up on my personal Facebook the other day about what's your number one used microwave button. And because I had to think about it. I was hitting it. I'm like, I wonder which one is what's the button that I have hit the most on your microwave? What do you think? What do you think it is, Mikey? For you.
The what? The number one button on my microwave?
Yeah.
This microwave?
This microwave? Are there different eras of different buttons you hit?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
there definitely
certain
were.
ones have different features. Because for me,
well, that's true.
and the reason I say that is because I think beyond a shadow of a doubt, I go back and forth because I
30 seconds.
I hit 2 a lot, but I hit start 30 seconds probably the most. Start 30 seconds I think is the most hit button.
I'm gonna call you out. I think that makes you a lazy microwaver. The 30 seconds,
lazy waver.
you're not controlling your heat right. You gotta think proper timing. You gotta tune that power down and make it go a little longer.
Turn the power down. Okay, Ty. Really, I've never even touched a power setting on a microwave ever in my entire life.
You're always at full blast.
Full blast
every time.
Full blast.
Fuck.
Am I doing it wrong?
I mean, you'll decrease your hot items and cold food situations.
Swagger Johnson only goes full blast. He goes full blast with everything. So that's a full Swagger Johnson move. Just full blast.
Yeah.
Yep.
I fuck around with a lot of buttons, man.
I'm gonna say the most popular button on this microwave probably is our cook time. I've been cooking a lot more, so I use it as a timer and not a to where it's not actually cooking anything.
Wait, so you just turn on the microwave
it has like a timer feature.
Well, yeah, okay, it has a kitchen timer, but cook time is what if you hit cook time, then you put the number in, it's going to start the microwave. That's what cook time is.
I have it's cook time on the microwave, but it's basically just
that's kitchen
alarm.
Timer, different button.
On mine, it literally says
no
cook.
No, your microwave is wrong. Then that is. You got a defective model. Cook time is where you hit it because I got that too, and it fucking goes to I do like that laziness though, that you just like when you're cooking something in the stove, you're that like rich or you don't care about power consumption that you just turn the microwave on just to, like as your timer. I like that move. That's a Swagger Johnson move.
Yeah, I'm saying if it's the buttons that are actually used to operate the microwave,
Start.
it's 3. Because
Oh,
3 is just automatically 3 minutes, and I mic most things about 3 minutes.
I think, I typically will go, even if I know it's a thing that needs to be a 3-minute cook, I will do 2 followed by 2:30s because I like to look at it after the 2, maybe give it a stir, pop it in for another 30, taste test it. Okay, it needs just another 30, so it's at the perfect optimum temperature, and then I'm good to go. Rarely do I use the 3 even on a 3-minute meal. It's always a 2 followed by 2:30s.
You should do 3 at power level 80, dog. Just telling you.
3 at power level 80. I should drop it. So you're
Why are
telling-
you trying to cook? No, it's full blast microwave. I
Yes.
never alter the power.
You're the
I
same
just
way then.
recompensate. If it says like, oh, do it for 6 minutes at 60% power, I'm like, no, just do it at like 2.5
Yeah.
minutes for full power.
Yeah.
Fuck it, just do it.
You're making the microwave food. Like now it tastes like microwave, whereas it doesn't have to if you do the instructions.
I had no idea, Ty, that you were such a microwave aficionado. I of all things. Like,
Look
okay,
at this micro snob over here.
yeah. I bet you he's got like some boutique microwave too. It's just like his headphones. He's got some like fancy ass $1,000 microwave.
This is one of those you become your father moments for me because I always scoffed at him like as a young kid and shit. I'd be like, that's stupid. Just put it in there, you hit the button.
You would Swagger Johnson the move. You would Swagger Johnson the microwave. Yeah.
But not because of him, I started adopting it. In all honesty, I started doing it myself, and then I realized later on, I was like,
game
wait a
changer.
minute, what the fuck?
Okay, I bet you this. Okay, I'm gonna name a snack. Ty, give me the optimal time and power level for each item that I give you right now. Okay.
All right.
All right. Nachos and cheese.
That's about 3 minutes at fucking 40.
Jesus Christ, this guy he's Rain Man of microwaves. Okay.
Okay, so just explain to me,
No,
though.
we gotta do more. I gotta do more. I gotta hear more of this.
I would do. Okay, wait. Can I give my rating on how we would cook that?
Yeah, please,
same
please.
plate?
Yeah, you're actually the chef, so we should probably divert to you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
42 seconds full power.
That's what I would do, Mikey.
So,
that's exactly what I would do.
Let me give you logic though. So like you go full blast, you're compromising the integrity of your actual nachos. They become soggier, they lose their crispiness. Whereas if you do
never had an issue.
If you do the lower power longer, you'll maintain crispiness and you'll get the proper heat to. I'm just saying.
Frozen burrito.
Ooh, that's a 2 minute at 80.
Okay. All right. Nice and standard, simple. All right. You, Mike?
That's you only gotta do maybe like 70 seconds full power. But you gotta wrap it in a wet. You gotta wrap it in a wet paper towel.
Wet. That is a key that is something that a lot of people overlook. That is a key ingredient to a good microwave burrito. I will agree with you there, Mike.
It makes like a little steam pocket somehow. Oh, it's good.
Bowl of stew.
Oh, stew. Yeah,
Beef
that's that. So this goes more to my lower. Bowl of stew is like 3 minutes, 30 seconds, 40 or 50.
Ooh, 40 or 50. I feel like it's going to be a cold stew.
You might want to do a little more after it's done. You'll give it the stir.
So you're a fan of the
You're
stir,
stirring?
Too? You do the stir. You got to check.
That's what I do. Sure. That's what I was saying with some of my stuff. I do the 2-minute stir, add, extra time, that
50 seems too much to me, so I wish there was a 45. But in all honesty, 40 for 4 minutes.
Man, if you got to get that boutique microwave, I bet you it's got a 45 on there. I bet you it's got higher level of control for your culinary masterpiece and your microwave Rain Man skills.
What are you talking about? 2 minutes, 30 seconds, full blast. once you stir it,
No
everything is like no. You stir it afterwards because you've got a ring of super
cold.
hot.
Yeah, it's super
So you
hot.
got a ring of super hot,
but the
on
bottom
the
is
outside,
cold, and so you just
and you've
mix
got
it
a little bit of
together.
cold. Once you mix it, it's almost you only have to give it like 30 seconds of cool off time,
and you're good to go.
and it's like the perfect temperature to just start eating.
I have
Or
done
it
that.
could just be the perfect temperature when you take it out. God damn it.
Yeah, but I think total time, even with my wait time, is still less than your cockamamie 40% power
Say
extended
what you
cook
will.
time.
Say what you will. I've transcended the microwave, sir. I've gone on my fucking journey.
I have transcended to full American where I want it now.
Yeah, you are a true Swagger Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for nothing.
No,
I'm getting it in the fastest time possible.
No, I agree with you. Should we did you guys see my message about Oh No Show and Tell? Did you guys get your best sleeping
I did.
thing? You got
Definitely didn't. What?
You got to find your best sleeping thing.
Sleeping thing?
Yeah, your best thing. Their best sleeping thing. It could be a lot. It could be a lot of things.
I already got two.
All right, Mike. Let's do
right.
this. Let's do this. Hang on. Let me get the music
Oh,
going. Hang
here.
on.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Oh No Show and Tell. This week, yes, it is your best sleepy thing. Mikey.
Yo.
What is your best sleeping thing?
All right. So, I told you guys I had two. And it's because I always think one is going to be like a good idea, and then I usually come across a much better idea. So my first idea, because you just did kind of spring it on us on the break to a segment where we really only had like 10 minutes to figure things out.
Ty didn't even see that message and just went and fucking found some bullshit, I think.
Yeah. So my first idea, like so many first ideas,
Weed.
the same thing it always is, weed.
Yeah.
It's the best thing for sleep. It helps me sleep. I almost used it, but then I thought, hey man, you've used weed for literally every other show and tell.
Yeah. It's either with the two of you guys, on every thing I give to you, it's either weed or your dick.
Yeah.
It's literally.
I think I go weed every time, and Ty goes.
Yeah.
I have also gone weed before, though.
Yeah. I guess honorable mention to weed could also be my dick.
Okay.
Jerking off before sleepy time is
Yeah.
a surefire way to get you into bed.
Okay.
But if it's not going to be my dick or weed, I guess if it's got to be a real thing,
A sleeping thing.
It's Michelangelo.
Damn it, Ty, shut up. It's my.
He really has this thing.
I didn't even see it.
No, this is awesome.
It's my Ninja Turtle, like
Is it a onesie?
kind of. It's kind of like a head pillow almost.
This is interesting. It's like a blanket that you wear
Safety blanket?
on your head. Okay.
Michelangelo
And then
safety blanket.
You can kind of wrap yourself almost like a cloak with it.
Is it heavy?
No, it's actually really light and kind of soft.
It is. It does look comfy. This is a good sleeping thing.
But yeah, if I was here, hold on, I'll just take my headphones off.
I want to see it on right. Yeah. Look at this.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It's good stuff.
So yeah, you just kind of get in it, and it's kind of got like a little bit of cushioning for my head.
This is
and
good
then
for
you just
passing
kinda
out on
wrap
the
it around.
couch. This is good for passing out on the couch.
Is this your daily or nightly, like every night? Do you do that?
Lately for the past couple nights, yeah, because Janine, for the hurricane, we had the house like super chilled down in case we did lose power.
Yeah.
So I've been sleeping in like a thick shirt and some shorts, and then I put this on my head and wrap around.
Yeah, I mean, I like a little like I sometimes I'll wear something when it's chilly inside like that, right? Like I'll do that. Do you or did your parents ever sleep nude? My parents always slept nude. I'm pretty sure of that. I think they probably do to this day.
I think mine did at one point, but definitely not anymore.
I feel like that was a thing that used to exist that doesn't exist anymore as much. Like, I think it was a thing in the 70s and 80s where everybody started sleeping nude in the 70s and 80s. Like, I think it might have been like, I have heard multiple things from that generation. A lot of them sleep nude. I think a
lot of people slept nude throughout history.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Really?
No.
Is it that weird?
Not really. I mean, I've done it, but I don't know. I don't find it.
I do. I normally sleep in boxers and a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I do. And then if it gets too hot, the t-shirt comes off, whatever, right? Like, but no, Mikey, that was a very solid entry to this. I will say that.
Thank you.
That must be very good for when you like pass out on the couch. That looks really good to keep you like you've got a little pillow everywhere you go.
Pretty much,
So
man. Like it is kind
anywhere.
of. It has been kind of like really nice, especially like there are times where I do like kind of fall asleep out on the couch.
Yeah.
So it is kind of just nice to have it for those occasional couch nights.
I get that. Ty, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go
Yeah.
next? I'll be happy to go next. It's fine.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, what do you got? What do you got?
I don't know if we're doing pillow show and
Well,
tell, but
oh man, you stole mine. But this is okay. This is your pillow. This is.
I got one of the like
Is
the neck, whatever you call them, pillows.
Is that like
I forget what they call them.
Is that like a Tempur-Pedic situation?
Kind of, sort of. Like it's the memory foam shit.
I'm
that,
not
like
fuck memory. Teresa has one of these. I'll roll over onto it sometimes. I hate it. I hate it. And I like the shape of yours, but I do not like the memory foam at all.
Well, it's still
or the
mushy.
standard,
It's not
standard
like super firm, but it is firm. I like firm shit in
So
general.
I got to just jump right into it because you brought that thing to the table, and quite frankly, mine is Jesus, so much better because I mean, there's only one pillow in the game that's the best.
Is that a
pillow
floofy
in the
little
game.
bitch pillow?
This is the My Pillow pillow.
Oh,
okay.
Well, okay. So
You're a My Pillow man. I did not know.
Well, I mean, I've never really wanted to say it before, but
so here we go.
The man made. Say what you want about the guy, but the man made a quality chopped up memory foam pillow, which takes all of the good qualities of the memory foam with its heat dispersion, but it has none of the bullshit of this stiff ass memory foam pillow. Therefore, that's why mine is definitely better than yours, Ty.
As my backup, because I use a My Pillow as well.
You got one too? Yes. Yes.
You fucking weirdos.
Oh, no, radio show
so-
with My Pillow people.
I feel like I have a better excuse than Owen. I worked on the My Pillow like advertisements, the commercials and shit.
Oh, did you get to meet my hero? Did you get to
Mike
meet
Lindell is your hero?
He was like a crack addict, right?
Yeah. And then he got a Saved by Jesus, got a sweet gold chain with a cross on it, and started making pillows. And
He
everything
started
turned
betting a lot. And then
Was it betting? That's how he got his money?
Straight up. Oh man, the stories. Wow.
I didn't know. Oh, wow. So you did meet him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Like
That's
we
great.
hung out,
Oh,
ate
wow.
lunch.
I had no idea
got to
when I brought
listen.
this up. That's fascinating, dude. Like,
So I mean, this was swag. I also got
Yeah,
a
you got it for
dog
free.
bed. I got a bunch of random My Pillow shit, but in all honesty, it's not a good pillow. But I use it nightly to like prop my neck and shit.
So I sleep with 3 pillows. One of them is a flat boy at the bottom. Then I've got the My Pillow is the one in the middle, and then the kind of like in between fluffy pillow can lay on top of my head, or I can prop that one up if I'm watching TV or something.
We're in the same boat. Pretty
So
much.
yeah, same idea. I think the My Pillow is actually a quality underrated pillow. And I think it's more than just a fad gimmick thing. I think it's a solid pillow. So there you go. That was
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like every time you've seen his commercials, you've probably seen a couple of my shots. Like,
that's hilarious. That's fucking awesome. Oh jeez. I'm checking out. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that sums it up. Who won? Who won today's Oh No Show and Tell? I think Mikey kind of walked away with that one. I'll be honest.
You know me, I am a big winner in show and tell land.
You are indeed. Thank you guys for playing along. Tell us what your best sleepy thing is in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Oh No Radio Show. I wanted to talk to you about this because this freaked me out, right? I heard, I'm into audio, I'm into acoustics. That's like, kind of part of what my gig is, right? And so I was just, I don't know why it made me think of it, but or what made me think of it, but something like, I think I heard a loud just like crack. It might have been just during the hurricane, something like that. No, because it was pre-hurricane. I don't know what made me think of this. Either way, I got to thinking, what is the loudest sound that's ever existed on Earth? Because you could say space, but we can't quantify that, right? What is the loudest sound that we've ever heard on Earth? So I looked it up, and it's actually so freaky that I thought it was worth bringing up on the show.
I want to say volcano right away, but
and you'd be dead on right, sir. Dead on right.
But what volcano?
Right.
Is
well,
it Krakatoa? Is it like
you just got it right on the head.
Goddamn, really?
You got it right on the head. So and of course this is in recorded history when we had measurements to be able to actually like do this, right? So there could be louder sounds that existed on Earth. I'm sure when the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, right? That probably would have been pretty
right. Yeah,
right.
like,
that probably would have been pretty fucking loud. But we don't have any, we don't know, right? So, but what we do know is that on May 20th, 1883, how'd you say it? Krakatoa?
Krakatoa.
Yeah.
That was a big bitch when that happened.
So, yeah, 1883, it was a volcano on Rakata Island in Indonesia. It erupted with a force never seen or heard on Earth. The sounds from the eruption of the Krakatoa volcano were estimated to be 310 decibels SPL. Now, me and Ty know because we studied this stuff. We went to school for sound, So
yeah.
I think we have a pretty good understanding about how, crazy high that is. I think to put it into perspective, if I'm getting this right, I want to say that if you're like standing behind a jet engine or like a rocket, that's about 120, 125, 130 decibels. Maybe even like with the rocket, maybe like 150, 160 decibels, something like that, maybe 70. But 310 decibels loud. So
it's also like the scope of it because
correct.
Yes, it was loud, but you could hear that shit halfway across the fucking world.
Well, that's what it says here in this article. There are reports that it was heard some 1,300 miles away in the Bay of Bengal. Even more amazingly, some islands in the Western Indian Ocean, approximately 3,000 away, still heard it at a decibel level near the same level as a gun blast. So that's 3,000 miles away. They heard it as loud as we would hear a gun blast. Due to the speed of sound, it's likely the people on these faraway islands did not hear the Krakatoa for nearly 4 hours after its eruption. That's also crazy to think about, too. Krakatoa produced the equivalent force of a 200 megaton bomb that was 4 times as powerful as the largest ever human-produced thermonuclear explosion the Tsar bomber in 1961. So that, do you hear what I just said there? It was 4 times as powerful as any nuclear explosion
Bomba.
that we have ever made by man. Like 4 times.
I like it.
4 times that. Krakatoa was also so loud that it circled the earth 4 times before dissipating. The sound went around 4 times around the earth before it went away.
Hell yeah.
Fucking, this is some
Fucking
swagger.
hell yeah.
This is some Swagger Johnson shit right here.
This is 100% Swagger Johnson. Good gosh.
We know that the exposure to sound greater than about 85 decibels for more than 2 hours can damage our hearing. For those near Krakatoa when it erupted, the sound of Krakatoa was not a sound at all. At 100, basically at 194 decibels, acoustic vibration changes into a shockwave of a sonic boom. It's unfathomable what likely happened to the humans and animals
Unfathomable?
who were unfortunate enough to be near Krakatoa on that day. Basically, you wouldn't hear it because it was so fucking loud. That
You are fucked.
You would like turn into Molly. Do you think would you vaporize, or would he just like turn into like like jelly and just drop dead? Like, that's probably what happened, right?
Not enough time to really feel it. You're just like,
we don't know. It's unfathomable.
yeah.
I like that. I like that it is just unfathomable that you could.
And this, by the way, isn't some just like bullshit article I found. This is from audiology.org, right? So this is like some scientific, like actual, like researched paper, like that they put out about this from a reputable organization that talks about audiology. And you can even tell, because right at the end, it has this thing. It's like, hearing protection would not have been helpful on that day, but we have the choice to protect our hearing from everyday sounds like motorcycles. Wouldn't have
been possible on that day. It just couldn't happen. It probably just couldn't happen.
So when I was reading this too, I also thought because like the Tsar bomber, it's a bomber in 1961, which was like the largest thermonuclear explosion. Like those Russians, Jesus Christ, like they got the biggest one. They got the big, and that was years and years after it's obviously Cold War type shit, but that was years after like we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, whatever. They were just like, we built the biggest bomb, and they did.
We will build the biggest bomb.
Wait a minute, that's not.
There will be no bombs larger.
That's not very Russian.
Hey man, I'll say how I want to say it.
I don't know. You sound more like Swedish or something when you.
We could also be from Sweden. Also happens that way.
They just don't know about that bomb.
They just don't know about this bomb.
I do think
bombs.
The Swedish are kind of sneaky, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like they are. They were the ones. Is it the Swedish or like the Finns? They're all sneaky. All those Norwegian fuckers. Like they're all a little sneaky.
You only think they're sneaky because they're just like not always around.
Yeah, well, that's part of it. Like they hide out on their own. They made that whole complex like to defend themselves like against war. Like they're one of those neutral countries that just like all we do is defend, and they put everybody like for a certain amount of years in military training when they're like 18, right? And then they built this whole thing. Look it up. One of them built this whole thing in the mountains where it's like a whole like basically like impenetrable fortress of like lookout points where they can like shoot planes down and shit, and like it's all like built inside the mountain.
That's pretty sick, dude. That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
It's pretty Swagger Johnson. Pretty Swagger Johnson.
That's 100% Swagger Johnson.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like those Swedish and all, like I think it was the Swedes. It was the Swedes or the Finns. One of them, I think. They did that. They built that shit. That's sneaky as fuck. You know? And then you got, maybe it was the Swiss. It might have been, I think it was the Swiss. Those Swiss, they're all obsessed with guns and stuff too. Like they're good. All of them are like crazy marksmen. And because I think they have to be, right? Like they're trained in that. Like, and they have to, and then they send their people off for like 6 months training courses, or like maybe not that long, but like 6-week training courses. Like you have to go do this every so many years, and like it's part, like they're all sort of enlisted. And yeah, the fucking Swiss, man, maybe making clocks and fucking hiding out over there. They got those sneaky ass banks where you can hide your money and shit.
So sneaky.
They're sneaky
All of
people. The Swiss, I think the Swiss
Bunch of sneak.
yeah.
Sneaky.
The Dutch, not as sneaky.
Snake.
The like people from Netherlands, the Dutch, they're not as sneaky. They
It still seems sneaky.
no, they're perverted. They're like the Germans. They're just yeah. They're just perverted. Germans
That's
are
okay.
both a little sneaky and perverted.
True.
But it's more like the Dutch people just perverted and tall. And then like the Swiss, they're sneaky and they're just sneaky. They're more sneaky.
Just sneaky.
Yeah. I don't.
Gentlemen, I got a Swagger Johnson. My way
You
out
got
of
a Swagger Johnson out of here. Enjoy your D&D
Yeah.
game. If you didn't hear earlier, how did that podcast go with you and Mike? So, tell us a little bit about that. Promote that before we get out of here. Or you.
We
get
went
outta
a
here.
little haywire, just going off the rails, talking about all our adventuring and what
Yeah.
have yous and whatnots.
Okay. That might.
But
might be
it was a good
fun.
time
All
chatting
right.
with Mike,
All
D&D style.
Yeah, we'll put that up on our Patreon, patreon.com/ONRS. If you're into that type of thing, that can be some bonus content that you listen to.
Owner content.
And,
I feel like
yeah.
me and Mikey, we get jealous. You do your wrestling thing. We got to do our little.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Good for you. Good for you. Well, enjoy your night, buddy, and we'll catch you when I get back from my work/fiddler.
Oh, yeah.
Work/fiddler trip, because I'm going to Austin and then flying to Atlanta, and then I won't be back. I won't be doing a show next week, but we'll release these in a way that you shouldn't miss out, listener. So yeah, I'll see you when I get back, and we'll touch base, and I'll keep you updated.
Enjoy.
Love you, buddy. See ya.
Boobs.
Bye.
Boobs. Maybe.
Boob.
Get out of here. All right, now I can switch the camera back. All right, we're back, Mikey. Just me and you doing the thing. Oh man, I don't have a ton left to talk about, but I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did this show.
Yeah.
It's been a week, and so it's nice to kind of touch base and, no offense to Teresa, sort of talk to somebody else. Like it's just like both, and I think, like I would say the same for her, right? Like get out of the house or talk to somebody, and it's just like, because well, I never get sick of Teresa, but I'm sure she gets sick of me. It's more like that. Is it that way with you and Janine?
Our schedules don't coincide like the best always. So when I actually get to see her, it's usually like, hey, how was everything? How's everything been? Like, are you doing okay? Like, is there anything that you need to like let me know? Because like a lot of times we'll go like, a day and a half without me really getting to see her, where it's like I see her
it's like
when I get home.
What is it, like
or
ships
when
passing in the
she's
night,
wakes
that
up.
type of thing, or whatever?
Yeah, stuff like that, where it's just kind of like, okay, it's good that I get to see her, but it'd be better if I could see her longer or more often. But we do what we can.
What do you feel about mailmen?
Mailmen themselves?
What are your just general thoughts on mailmen? What's their level of intellect? Because this keeps happening, where I keep getting letters, and it's multiple letters for multiple different people and addresses in my neighborhood delivered to me, and I'll take it in. I put a piece of paper. I don't know what you're supposed to do. So I just put a piece of paper around it that says wrong address, put the flag up, put it back in the thing. So it gets to the right place, right? Like, but this has got to be like the 7th, 8th time this year I've had to do that. That's got to be a dumb mailman, right?
I mean, maybe not that he's dumb, but it's just it could just be that he's dumb. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna stop defending these people that I don't know because I do this far too often.
Yeah,
This guy could just be a dumb shit.
could be.
He could just be a real dumb fuck, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And you know what? That sucks for him because you shouldn't be so dumb. Just stop being fucking dumb.
I also think,
Have we thought about that?
yeah,
Like, legit, have we considered just not being a dumb sack of shit?
there's that. There is that. Do you
I
think
mean,
it's
that's got to be a thing, right?
Do you think it's a good job? Do you think it's a fun job? Do you think there's any? Do you think, like, if you had to do it, you got assigned to this, right? Do you think you could get any redeeming qualities out of being a mailman?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I think driving the little car would be super fun.
And I want one of the old ones, not one of the new ones. Like,
yeah, not really one of the new, like,
I mean, the new ones are probably nice because they probably
post-brand.
have better AC. They're all in there. Like I want the old hot little box truck thingy.
Yeah, I think I
And
would
I
probably
wanna-
want.
And I want to drive it on the wrong side. Do they all of them are all of them like that? Remember, so that like the right, like you can pull right up
Yeah,
to
I
the
think
mailbox.
they're
Like, so
all on the.
their steering wheel is on in America on the right hand side, like
They're
where the
all right-hand
passenger
drive,
seat
yeah.
usually is. Yes, yeah. Is that what you would say, right hand drive?
Yeah, it's called right-hand drive.
Okay, yeah. So they're all like that. Are they all still like that?
Yeah, they have to be because
of that.
if they weren't, you would have to like either get out of the truck or
Right.
you would have to drive on the wrong side of the road to
I'm surprised they haven't
deliver the mail.
I'm surprised they haven't made an invention for that yet of some description. That, like, maybe it's because just like people's mailboxes all differ so much you couldn't standardize it, but like some sort of like pipe or something like goes up to the mailbox and you just zip, like just because
I
that's
think
got to
because
be
of
a
the
weird
size and
driving
variance
like
in mail.
that's got to be a weird driver's insurance liability thing for the postal service. Like, well, I guess they're government, so who cares? But it's do they have to take a test that they can drive like that? Because I don't know.
Dude, I would assume you do have to pass some sort of driving test. And I mean, I know my buddy who's been with the mail, or he's been with the USPS for.
You've got one?
Yeah, my buddy George started. I
do you
want to
think
say
he'd
like
be
5 or
willing to
6 years
talk?
ago.
Do you think he'd be honest, like, then talk with us? Because I'd love to ask a mailman questions, like in seriousness.
I don't see why he wouldn't. He's a really sweet guy. He plays in like what is it? Like a Misfits cover band.
Yeah.
Oh,
This guy sounds awesome.
yeah, my buddy Big George, real sweet dude. He's got like a gigantic Viking beard now, but yeah,
This guy has some Swagger Johnson qualities.
got a little. He's always had a little bit of Swagger Johnson about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been a post office guy for I want to say like 5 or 6 years now.
Huh.
But I did ask him one time, like, hey, like, what's the pay like? He goes, oh man, he goes, you could only be either like you could work in a postal facility, or you could be a like
On route.
he's like, or you could be like a clerk. But even the like walking post carriers drive to a specific spot, load up, and then walk about.
Yeah. Well, I would assume that. Yeah.
He's like, you got a DUI. You can't be a.
Oh, like.
Yeah, you can't drive a government vehicle with a DUI.
But they probably because they're government. They probably have like the best benefits and like pensions and stuff too, though, right? And they probably.
They get paid pretty well.
I think
mean,
they do,
considering
yeah.
what you're. I think like once you got the like system down, it probably wouldn't be so bad unless you lived in an area where it was just like completely understaffed.
I think
so that you were just getting.
I think you nailed it on the head with some of that too. I think the area you're kind of able to work in really increases or decreases the value of the job. Like if you get one of the richer neighborhoods, it's probably a lot easier of time. But if you get a less affluent area, I'm sure that comes with more headaches, right? Like that's
Well, I mean,
just
if you're trying to deliver
science.
I would imagine if you're trying to deliver into like some of these neighborhoods where it's just like there are just 1,000 houses in this neighborhood, and you're literally just like bam, bam, every
Yeah.
house like up and down.
I like the pith helmet walking guy hat though. Like, yeah, you see, do you get in my like commute sometimes to get to I-4, I'd drive through a real old school neighborhood down Cayley, right? And they always have those guys in the pith helmets doing literal door to door with their bag, their big ass satchel, and they're doing door to door, and they've got the like. But those, I think that's got to be the best mailman job, right?
I don't know, man. Like I would assume driving mailman top of the heap, right?
Really?
Like,
well, I don't know. I go back and forth. It depends on what type of person you are. If you're a fatso mail guy, you want the truck. But if you want, if you're like,
I want the truck then.
but if like, and I get it with the heat, that could be torturous. But they're out there pretty early, and like they think they beat a lot of it. But the walking guys I see, and maybe they do have to do like I'm sure they do have to walk around in the like torturous Florida summers. But if you're like into fitness, you never have to go to the gym if you're a walking mailman, I would assume. Like you get your steps, your cardio's good, right? Like you get your steps in no problem.
Right. Yeah, I would. Oh no, like you would even beat me out, like way out.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
For like I've recorded days where I walk like 10 miles and
me too, man. And I'm pretty beat when it's like 12, 13 miles. If I've done that, then I know I'm like, whew, like that's a lot.
completely beat out.
I think those guys probably do over 20 easy, right?
Oh, dude, I would assume, yeah, depending on your neighborhood. Now, I'd imagine they also put limits on it. Like, you're not going to be walking where there's like 400 or 500 yards in between each house. You're probably not doing a walking mail route.
But those guys, they have a truck, right? And then they park the truck somewhere. Is that what they do? They have a truck, they park it, and they use it. Do you think they use that? They probably use it as like a central base that they go back to. They do like a couple blocks and then they go back to the truck. They fill the mailbag up. They do another couple blocks. Is that what they do?
More than likely, I would assume. I mean, unless it's some kind of system where it's like you've got like a mail person, like a driver, and then he loads up like 4 or 5 different mail guys and he drives them all to just drop them off. And you're kind of in sync with like, okay, you need to have this route done in 45 minutes because that's when the guy is probably going to be back to pick you up. So you kind of just got to be on pace to get shit done. It's either that or you have your own truck, you park it somewhere, and it's got to be for those neighborhoods where everybody parks on the street, so you just can't get to and from neighborhoods.
Yeah, I
like
think you're right.
Mailboxes.
Can mailmen smoke?
Ooh, probably not. They probably don't want you like walking down the street like puffing down
a Camel Blue or whatever. Yeah.
But I do want to huff down a Camel Blue.
You never know.
If I was walking around.
And when you look at those trucks, the old school ones, they're just like I don't think those things have AC because their windows are always down anyway. So they just like, those are the perfect smoking trucks. Like those looks like a vehicle.
Grandpa box them.
I feel like that's the perfect vehicle for like having just having a sensible smoke while you're
while you're cruising around, dropping off people's packages and letters.
Yeah.
Dude, I would always wonder if the postal guys, when like you stop to go get lunch at like a Wawa or something, if you see like a UPS guy or a DHL guy, are you like, hey, go fuck yourself? Like, fuck you.
Oh,
USPS forever.
Yeah, you think they have like different they have alliances like the like they get like turf war stuff and like
Well, you got to think like the UPS guys who are just like
let's do the hierarchy of these guys. Who's the top of the food chain and who's the bottom? Because we've got DHL, FedEx, UPS,
And then
and
USPS.
USPS, right? I would say personally, I think the UPS guys are top of the food chain in this battle.
I think so.
I
I
would
think
vote
it's
them number
probably like
one.
UPS, and then
Because they're tough. They've got the big ass brown trucks. So like, if little ass like USPS thing, right? Get out of my way, right?
yeah.
But everybody, I was gonna say USPS would be probably. I don't know, because FedEx got the big ass trucks, and they're kind of like an elite service too. They're
really?
I think FedEx are like elitists.
I think UPS is kind of like the most popular, where FedEx comes in maybe a little more quality, and where the postal service itself is just like
Free
the
range.
it's kind of like you kind of get what you get. Like
Yeah, that they're
it's all going
bottom.
to be dependent.
They're probably bottom of the barrel. Like I feel like DHL, FedEx, they're in like this weird middle category because they do a lot of courier stuff too.
Yeah.
So like I feel like they're almost like a more expensive elitist thing. They're kind of in the same realm, but the I think UPS is top because of their numbers. And like their deal, they have to have like a deal with Amazon, right? Like UPS has to have, because they're the ones that always drop off my packages usually. Like
I get some FedEx.
I never get FedEx dropping off an Amazon package. I'll get. It's usually UPS or an actual Amazon branded vehicle.
No, I mean we do get a lot of like actual Amazon vehicles around here.
What do you think of that too? Because those guys are probably like the ones that everybody hates because like they're new kids on the block. They're
pushing
their
everybody
jobs.
down.
Yeah, and they got those like swank ass vans and stuff.
Bro, unless you're one of those UPS people that drive in their own cars. Have you seen these people yet?
Not a UPS person in their own.
An Amazon.
No, I've seen an Amazon. Yeah,
dude.
I have. And I don't like that. That freaks me out. They should have to put a magnet on their car or something.
Yeah,
they should have to do that because that's like, I've seen that and I'm like, oh, I thought it was actually a porch pirate one time stealing my stuff when it was somebody dropping something off, right? Like so,
right?
Because I didn't, yeah, no, I'm with you on that. That's. They're weird. I don't like that. Like doing it in your own car.
Definitely not. I definitely think you could avoid doing that in your own car. I would much prefer you avoid doing it in your own car.
I've seen people with Teslas doing that, which is weird. It's like
What?
maybe it's like a side hustle. They're just making a couple extra gigs, and because like they're not spending any money on gas, and if they've got the self-driving thing, it's almost just like, all right, I just kind of chill out in the car for a while, drop off a package, right?
Yeah, dude, I think you definitely could do just that.
Maybe that's what it is.
And I mean, I'd honestly just prefer that. Just stop by, have a magnet on your car, throw it out the window. I don't really care anymore. Just throw it out the window at me.
Have you ever gotten to know a delivery man of any type?
Yes. We have pretty much the same FedEx guy all the time now.
At work or home?
At work. It's pretty much the same FedEx guy.
Yeah,
you get
them more. You tend to. I think most people would like have someone, if you're in that type of position, that you interface with delivery wise on the work side of things. I was talking more at home, but they're interesting to talk to. People that are like lifers. Is your guy like a guy that's been there for a while?
I think he said before he's 10 plus years.
That's, I mean, yeah. Those people, I truly do. I think they're an interesting breed.
Dude, my guy I know, Richard. You probably know him from the BDM page.
Not super well. Don't think I've ever met him in person, but I know him, online.
Oh, we used to live in the same town and would see each other at the same bar and all.
He's a Brit, isn't
he? What?
Is he a Brit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
I think he's almost set to retire from UPS here in the next I think he said recently he's got like under 5 years left.
And it's
before
probably
he
pretty.
retires.
That's probably pretty early. I don't know how old he is, but like it's
50s.
yeah, it would be early for most people's retirement, I think. But
Yeah.
if you've done that type of job for so long, that's what it gives you. Like it is that type of career path, right? That you're able to do that in the States like a lot earlier than I think a lot of other professions. I have a friend, like he's younger than that. He's probably late 40s. And he has been a firefighter since he was 18. And he is he is literally eligible for retirement now. Like,
Oh yeah, dude, I'm sure.
He might have even actually done it already, because I think he was talking about just like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna pick up this like school crossing guard thing just to, I don't know, do a few hours a day of something. Like he's like, I don't really have to work anymore. Like it's like his pension's good. He's got like, he's done. Like he
dude.
I mean, if you're I guess you deserve that, right? Like if you're a firefighter, like if you've probably been through some hell. And
dude, I know guys in the military do it where they will go out. If you get in at like 18, I think you only have to do like 20 years in the military before they retire you. And they will retire out of like
45, like or whatever. Yeah,
48 years, 38, 45 years old. They'll retire out and then get another job.
A lot of them start second careers. Like they'll open businesses, they'll start second careers. And then I also think that's part of the reason that you see so many, like, I mean, it's obviously optics too with the country, but a lot of them get into politics, right? A lot of them get into, even if it's just local level stuff, even, like
well, I was going to say there's there's kind of like a life schematic where you do one of these jobs like the military where they let you retire after like 20 years.
Yeah.
And so you're still pretty early. You could still find another one of these companies or these businesses where you put in 20, 25 years.
You could have two extremely successful careers in one lifetime. Is kind of what it is.
You double pension out of things. I think you can do it if you like hit different branches or services in the military. You could go in, retire out of one, and then pop back up, and then go in and get a whole nother pension job out of it, where you double pension by like 55, 60 years old, and you're done.
It sounds so great, but I know I could never, ever do that, right? It sounds so great on paper, but I think realistically, what you're missing out on life, like because of the strictness of that type of like role, right? You're missing out on so much of your best years of your life. You're sacrificing so much that I don't know that it outweighs it, that you get to then do it when you're, 70 years old or whatever, right? I'll be honest with you. I know I don't have the discipline for something like the military. Weirdly, I think you actually do more than me. Maybe not when you were younger, but I do think you have a little bit of a discipline like thing about you. You are an incredible employee from what I know about you. And and your dedication to your job. So if you were to apply that way, you know what I'm saying? I think that you could have pulled that off if you were who you are now at 17 and decided to go that route. It's a bit late, obviously, for this now, but you get what I mean?
Well,
I don't think at any stage of my life, I don't think I could have ever been that type of person.
In high school they gave us the I think called like the ASVAB, which is just like the military. I don't know if it was the ASVAB, but it was
like an acuity test, or like to see like how you would where you would fit and all that.
Yeah. They give you this test, and it's basically I think I got like a 92.
You were like perfect for them.
Yeah. Well, they're basically like, listen, man, the only thing you really you just didn't score high enough to do was like nuclear. Like you could be on the sub, you couldn't just work on the nuclear engine. We couldn't let you do that
because you're not particularly mechanical. Like that that's one thing about you. You're not particularly mechanical. I from my knowledge. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm
It
down.
would depend. If you put me around things long enough, I'll
Right.
eventually figure them out and
I guess
take them
what I'm
apart.
saying is I would be more on the technical side of things because I've been around that, like I just have a little bit more knowledge. It's nothing that you couldn't ever learn.
But
But I can
I'd
see
probably
where
end up
you
in
would,
management.
dude.
I'd
Well,
probably
then
end up
that's
in
it.
just
That's it.
leadership.
I could see you as like why you ranked pretty high because you're loyal, you're hardworking, you're very intelligent, and like all of those things, three things just there I just named. That's enough for you to probably rank that high. I am not loyal. I am not as smart, and I am not as hardworking because I hate working hard. It sucks. I like to make my money, get in, get out, and do my thing, right?
Owens in the motor pool, sleeping under a truck, just hanging out, just having a
Yeah,
good time.
what would they even bother doing with me in the military? What would they do with me?
Well, I mean, there's still like audiovisual components to the military.
I'd probably that's where they would. Oh, you're the fucking AV nerd. This is your go. Yeah.
Well, no, it's more than likely with the like technical side that you do have, you'd probably do something like what my buddy Jesse does in the military and has done for man, he's got to be coming up on his retirement date if he hasn't already reached it. He does like telecommunications where he basically just sets up the networks that keep everyone
That's
operating.
probably what that's something. That's probably where they would. Yeah, they would train me in something like that. My acuity would point towards something in that realm.
And I mean,
right?
Again, I think I would probably end up just either doing leadership or cooking. I would have just ended up being a cook in the military.
Yeah, you just would bet you could have been a cook in the military this whole time, and you'd probably be making good money, and you know, like you'd seen some of the world.
I would essentially have probably by now I would be running some sort of like mess hall in some base somewhere in the country. I probably have a pretty easy. I probably have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday military job where I just keep workers in the kitchen.
It'd be an organizational. It'd be like an organizational job at that point, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would just be making sure we passed like internal health inspections, that we were stocked, that we were feeding everybody in time. And the best thing about it, the one thing that would be great about running a military kitchen, everybody there has to be there.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, I'm sick today, I'm not coming in for my kitchen job.
Right.
Dude, like everybody there, it's all like rotating in and out. Like you have mess duty this week.
And you probably only have to prepare like 2 options like a day, right? Like it's you get this or you get this. It's one of the two. Like
it's like, do you want this meat or do you want this meat? The vegetables are all pretty standard.
Yeah.
You probably have to make like a small amount of like religiously stipulated meals for people on base.
Not in America. We don't do that.
No, I think in America we do it extra. They're like,
we probably
we have to. We have to make sure we give them their like halal or kosher meal.
You know what though? I'm so mad if I'm the guy like that runs that thing that I have to do that. I am. I'm just.
I have to make like 6 halal meals every day.
I've got to serve these 3,000 people, and I need to make this special meal for the 5 of you. Fuck off.
You can just eat double roll.
Yeah,
just
you get 2 rolls. You get rolls. Oh, I'm gluten free.
That's it.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Eat rolls.
Eat rolls. Rolls and water. Dip them in the water. Yeah, that's what you get.
Oh, are we doing now? We're just treating all of our racially and ethnically different soldiers as slaves.
Rolls and broccoli. I mean, there wouldn't be anything wrong with the broccoli, right? Everybody can eat the broccoli.
I would spit on it because they're not real Americans.
Yeah,
but
that's what I would do. Yeah. Not even American. I wonder how it works too. Like I maybe we should ask Mark. Maybe he can leave a voicemail about this. Like I wonder how different the UK. Not that he's been in the military, but I'm sure he knows people that have. He would probably have a better insight on all
He was
this.
too busy racing fucking motorcycles to go to war.
Yeah, punching people in the head at punk clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But
he was out there being full Swagger Johnson.
Mark's definitely got some Swagger Johnson. You seen one of his daughters? Whoo, she got some Swagger Johnson too. She got some. Both of his daughters got some. You know what? Mark's wife got some Swagger Johnson. Just all.
That's why Mark is Swagger. He's got the Swagger Johnson in because he surrounds himself with hot women
and passed it on his Swagger Johnson to others. Like so,
yeah.
But no, he would know. I would like to know more about like the differences between what he knows about like the U.S. military and like their time, and then and then like what it's like, for in the UK, because I really don't know. I've met tons of Marines. Like our good friend Zach's a Marine. I have a decent idea of what he's done and been through, but I've never met like actually a military person from the UK. I also want to know what it's like being a mail carrier in the UK too. How that differs, because I don't think none of them got no trucks. They're just walking. They pip cheerio and fucking picking shit up. Like,
you think? Oh, pip cheerio.
Yeah, a lot of that. Like I see them. They go get sweets at the corner store. Then they go like pick up some mail, drop one, and postman Pat.
Can I make a statement about England?
Depends what the statement is. I mean, I'll make fun of it. I'm allowed to make fun of it. I was born there, but it depends what you're about to say.
I don't think it's anything crazy. But I do feel like the English, much like the South, do apply a lot of like affectionate terms. In terms of like when they address people, it's like, oh, hello, love.
Hey, hello, love. Yeah.
I much like the South with like sweetie or darling.
Yep.
I do feel like they punctuate sentences a lot with very like affectionate little nicknames, or just like little affectionate surnames for everybody. Everybody's a love or a darling.
And it's not even like a it's not gender specific either, love. Like you can like if you were to
call guy love.
Yeah, absolutely. If you came around, oh love, I didn't know you were coming. Like, or if you came around my house, or hello, love, like,
Yeah.
But we use also hello, you cunt. We also do it the same way around the other way.
Correct.
Where it's, like,
I do feel like you guys do have, it's almost like there's a little more buddy in that sense, where it's like,
no,
maybe I don't really do it so much anymore. I know I used to do it as like a younger man, where I'd be like, oh, what's up, F word for the gays?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, queer? You
right.
insult your friends as like a form of effect. But I really kind of grown out of that now. Like,
one within our group for a little while was bitches. You're like, hey, bitches, how's it going?
What's up, bitches?
A little bit of that.
So I mean, I can kind of see that, but I do feel like, man, they apply a lot of that, like just affectionate platitudes on people, just in everyday conversation, and it's for everyone, much like a Southerner would.
You say that, but unless I think here's the difference: Southerners will do it to a stranger. The Brits will only do that to someone they actually know, like, and they might not know them super well, but the Brits will only do it to somebody that they have met. They won't do that to a complete stranger. Whereas in the South, you can get a sweetie from a
waitress
you've never seen and will never see again, right? So I think that is the slight difference. I also do think that the Brits are, maybe it's just because, I don't know, it's a cultural thing for sure, but the Brits are funnier, or at least more witty with their language too. Like the way, like, we have a lot of Americans have this very sort of stock standardization of like lines, like that we talk in, right? Like there's not much like creativity put to that. Yeah, I was talking about this with a friend the other night, actually, Jack Bender, and we were bringing up like different slangs, different good old Cockney rhyming slangs and things like that. And it's just like the creativity that has to go into that, right? To come up with these things. Like you would know if I said I fell down the apples and pears. You know what that means?
Nope.
Fell down the stairs, apples and pears.
Oh, okay.
Right. So there's tons of Cockney rhyming slang like that. And then there's like we have a lot of weird idioms. Like where did that come from, right? Like if I said to you, and I've definitely done this before on the show, so forgive me if you've heard this, but if I said to you, Mikey, it's black over Bill's mother's right now, what would that mean to you?
I mean, it seems like it's describing like, oh, there's like a negative, like it's kind of like a negative place over there right now. Like maybe don't go over there. It's not a good time.
Right. And you're sort of right when you say that, but it literally just means like, oh, there's a storm off in the distance. We don't know who Bill is. We don't know who Bill's mother is. There's a storm off in the distance. There's probably a Bill over there. Bill's mother. Black over Bill's mother's. There's a dark storm cloud. Don't go over there. There's a storm coming. That's literally all it means. But there's like a ton of idioms that we have in our zeitgeist that don't exist in the States. And like, I'm sure you've had to Google things on a British show before. What the hell does that mean? Like I've had to do it. Like there's certain ones that I don't remember or know. But we have a lot more of them. And it's not to say that it's not to say that America doesn't have them. I just think the Brits are more creative and have more of them. Would you agree?
Yeah. I actually had to deal with this this week. We had some English folk come into the restaurant, and they were asking about the sides, and they said, "Oh, do you have chips?" And I said,
because from me, which ones, like, oh, which chips are they asking for here?
So I had to stop for a second and it processed in my head, and I go, real quick, do you mean like French fries?
Yep.
Or we have kettle chips, which I think
chips,
would be probably closer to what you guys call crisps.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, okay, yeah. Fries.
Yeah.
He's like, I want French fries. And I'm like, okay, cool. I know that there's a little bit of difference, and I just wanted to make sure with him, but he was like, no, he's like, you're right. He's like, I meant fries and not chips, like not your potato chips.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that we have, not myself, but podcast I produce called Fish and Brits, in the letter N, Brits.com. Please check that out if you're into any of this kind of like cultural talk between the UK and the differences between the UK and America. And they were talking about this just the other night. They did a hurricane special where they ruined it. Like I had such perfectly produced episodes. They tried to do something on their own with like Zoom and everything. And I'm just like, oh, God damn it. This is why you need producer Owen to do this type of thing.
It's why you need me here and have to keep paying my salary.
Exactly.
Or else you guys are going to have these it's probably going to be the same thing you say after you listen to me and Ty's episodes. There's no direction. You guys are all over the place.
This is some willy-nilly bullshit. Yeah, absolutely. So it was a bit like that. No, they did a fine job for what they had and what they could do. I will actually give them some credit. But we have signed the contract for season 2, and I can officially announce that will come sometime in the spring. But we are also working on our Christmas special for that show, so that'll be out soon. But yeah, they were kind of doing the same thing. They were asking, like, if I were to say to you. I'll just give you a couple quick examples. So in British terminology, if I said, I'm going to give you the American and you try and guess the British. So what would trash be? What would you say?
Refuse?
Nope.
I don't know.
You're close. I think you just missed the word. It's rubbish, right?
Oh, rubbish. Okay.
Yeah. Rubbish.
All right.
Rubbish is such a great term. Like we go, oh, that's trash. You know, we could say that about a piece of music
Rubbish.
or what a trash movie or this song's trash. Song's rubbish. Sounds way better, honestly. It does. It does.
I like it. I'm okay with it.
What about trash can?
Oh, that's a bin.
There you go. See, yeah, you know.
Straight to the bin.
And then you know the simple ones like what's the hood of a car?
Oh, the bonnet.
You got it.
And the trunk is the boot.
And the trunk's the boot. See, look at this guy.
I know a fair amount.
I'm very impressed. It's not that interesting to talk about, I guess, as we kind of get out of here for the evening. But is there anything, Mikey, that we do want to do before we do get out of here this evening?
Yeah. You know what, Owen? I do have just a little bit of a closing bit.
Oh, please. Do I need some music? Do I need to prepare some?
It's an easy one. It's
Okay.
it's an old bit that we used to do
Okay.
when we didn't really have much going on towards the end of the show.
Oh man!
And
can I figure out which one is it? I'm trying to figure out which music I have to play.
it's a Mike B specific bit.
Got it.
And
Would it happen to be a gripe, Mike?
no. It's my other bit.
Oh shit!
My other closing bit.
I don't remember what that was. I don't remember what that was.
It's my Asian bit where I do the Asian thing.
Oh god! So we gotta get some Asian music. You didn't tell me.
You don't
about
have
this.
to.
Oh no, we gotta make it properly racist. Hang on. This is like your. Oh, what do we call it? This is Mike
B's fortune cookie of the week.
Fortune cookie of the week. We have it. Let's do it right. Hang on. Let me get some Asian music and yeah, make it proper. Give it a proper intro as we're, Would you like beautiful Asian relaxing music or beautiful Asian music Kodo music?
Kodo music.
Kodo meditation. Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Mike B's fortune cookie of the week.
Thank you.
Did you do an Asian voice right at the beginning? You went,
thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Mike B's fortune cookie of the week. Guys, I think it's been a rough week on everyone. And I do think that we all have been kind of just zapped of all of our energies. We've all just kind of got nothing left.
No.
And I think that sometimes we need to look out to the fortune cookie to help bring us back, because the fortune cookie so often will give us the wisdoms that we do need, and maybe the wisdoms that can help us.
Maybe even just the perspective. It enhances some things that we need to think about, perhaps. Maybe it's not the fortune cookie giving us the wisdom. It's us using the fortune cookie to gain the wisdom that we probably need. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. And this week's fortune, I think, is really, really going to help right now. Because I think a lot of people, this hurricane probably came at a time where they weren't really even ready for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And it probably took a lot of people out by surprise. So I think this fortune this week is really going to help a lot of people get themselves back on that path. So let me just gather up all my wisdom and all my energies to get ready.
Hang on. Let me get in my chakra pose and let me see if I can help direct some of that energy to you.
Yeah.
Mike.
Give me a little energy, Owen.
I'm orbing right now. I know.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Get ready.
And I'm gonna throw.
I'm ready to receive
the energy at you. I'm passing the energy. Feel that? Do you feel it?
Oh,
got it. You got it. I see you caught it. I felt it leave. You caught it. Yes. Yes.
And I'm going to take that bit of energy in and I'm going to apply it to this fortune.
Thank you.
The fortune this week, guys, you can never be certain of success.
No.
But you can be certain of failure if you never try.
You know what? That's really positive and profound thought, and it is something that I am currently dealing with. I'm not even putting on a bit here because I am in a position where I am not happy with my current, employment situation, and I've chosen to, kind of really go swim in the deep end with the big sharks, baby.
Right.
So part of that is so true to me because I know that I'll never find happiness if I continue treading water. Better to swim with the sharks than tread water in the same place, right?
Exactly.
And I've always said that you hear about this with star players in any sort of sports team. The star players, the one thing in common with all of them is that they always want the ball.
Yeah.
I was working in a place that was never going to give me the ball. So because I want the ball, I'm taking the ball.
Yeah.
And that's just like some truth, like in all honesty with what you just said. If you don't take the chance, right?
Yeah.
How do you ever know? I'd rather take the chance and fail than never take the chance and not have the chance of succeeding.
Well, I agree, Owen, because what you can always be certain of is that where you're at right now, you're not happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
That part's a definite. So yeah.
And I think I might be in the same boat too.
It's comfortable, it's comfortable enough, and it's
starting to not be so comfortable either, though.
Right. It's comfortable financially to a degree. I know I can live with that, right? Like, but it's not comfortable enough where it's. Here's the thing, the pay is just okay enough, right? But the fulfillment is not there at all. And when you don't have, like, if the fulfillment was at the microwave 100% Swagger Johnson level 100%,
no problem. I could deal with shit pay.
Then I can deal with shit pay. But when, and I think you can do this like the other way around too. If the pay is Swagger Johnson level and the fulfillment is low, then you can deal with this all day. But when the two are on this Venn diagram and kind of meet in that middle zone that you're not getting great pay and you're not getting the fulfillment, that's at the point where you have to move on.
You have to start looking for something.
Correct.
And that's the thing, because I know that this will keep going, because I know that the people involved aren't gonna just stop.
Yeah.
But I also know that the farther I walk into this forest, the less and less I even can see the things that I enjoy. It's coming down to the point where I know that I can't do the things I want to do because what I'm doing now does require so much.
Yes.
And I also know that maybe if this had happened 10 years ago, we'd be in a completely different boat.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I've been doing this long enough now to know that I don't see success as the end. I see me staying alive. I see me always having a job. And there is some benefit to be set up. There is some success to be made out of that. never having to really worry. But will I ever actually get to say like, man, I'm happy?
Yeah.
Because I don't really feel like I get to say that all that often anymore.
No, it's pretty much it's been the same story with the both of us for quite a long time in both of our professions and current roles. And that we're both, again, I keep using the term treading water. And we both deserve to be a little happier than that. And we both,
Yeah.
and I think that part of that for both of us is the potential growth that you can get in that particular role. If we felt that we would be making a ton more money where we're at in 5 years and in a way better position, then yeah, that would give us fulfillment. That would give us like a sense of growth that would get us to that next level, especially if you see that year after year. But when it's, again, sort of stagnated, treading water, at that point, we're not getting any younger. You got to move on with life, right? So,
right. And can I? I'll be a real honest
I think a
here.
lot of people are going through this exact same thing. By the way, like, not to get too heavy, but I think a lot of people are going through this same exact thing. It's why I think it's important to talk about. Like, maybe it's the emotions of this hurricane that just passed through, but I think it is absolutely important to talk about.
And you know what? Like I said, I'll be really honest about it. Anybody who knows me knows what I do and what I've done my entire career.
Yeah.
But I think people have a misconception about why the job isn't good. The job has never been good. What I do for a living is generally
hard as work, by the way.
Hard and not generally all that rewarding.
It's definitely not the most glamorous of occupations.
And I'll tell you, like, I never did it really because I liked what it was. There have been pluses to doing it my whole life. I've been homeless and never worried about food. I've always, even when I was broke, never worried about that.
It's also an industry that no matter what, there will always be a job open somewhere. Like, you can get fired from literally 100 places in the same town and still find another one to work at.
Yeah. But if you want me to be honest, the entire reason I do what I do, and I started even doing what I do, is because I was an alcoholic and nobody cared. You could exist in my workspace and be an abhorrent, awful alcoholic, and your schedule was timed out perfectly where it didn't matter. And for the first probably 10, 15 years of my career, that's why I did it.
Sure.
And it's only been within the past couple of years where I've just really been like, man, drinking kind of sucks. Like, it is not. You're
not getting that enjoyment that you used to get out of it because it's doing more damage than it's doing, giving you more bad feelings than good feelings at the end of the day, right? Yeah.
And now it's just kind of turned into something where it's like, the only reason I was doing this was to facilitate me being a drunk, and now I don't want to be that anymore.
So you can
achieve. Now
you want to achieve. Now you want to do so much more because, I get it. Like I've wasted a lot of time on my life in career because of the fact that, maybe the party got the better of me at times too.
And I think, now it's time to look out into the world and look at the things that I think I actually want to do with my life. And I think the sad and unfortunate thing is that part of it just doesn't involve doing this anymore, doing what I do.
Yeah, not the radio show, right? Like, you're not saying the radio, you're just saying the job.
No. My actual profession. I think it might be time to look out into the world and kind of realign my working life.
I feel
with
like I've been trying to
something
tell you
different.
this. I think I've been trying to tell you this for a long time, like, because I do think that your skills and your intellect is being widely underutilized. And I do think like that might even require like taking a couple college courses or doing something, right? But I do think there's so much more that Mikey has to offer in the same way I think I have a lot to offer, right? Like it's, I got this whiteboard that hangs on the sign outside the studio over here. And when, someone's coming into the studio, I always write, hey, welcome, Mikey B, Janine, or whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
But then when it's not being used for that, I kind of write inspirational quotes to myself, right?
Right.
And I'll just leave you with this, with this whole, like, to kind of wrap this up. I put on this board something important last night to me. And this all kind of stems from a wrestling promo that I've even played, I think, for you at times. That's an inspirational quote to me. And you find inspiration wherever you get inspiration. Could be a song, movie, whatever. Wrestling promo. And for me, it's like, it was all to do with my anxiety this past week, because I've had a lot of anxiety, of course, because of the hurricane. And then a huge amount of anxiety with this very big, very important job that can really, if I do a great job on this, I know it's going to help my career immensely. And it's pretty high paying, and I don't want to fuck it up, right? So all the anxiety building to that has now shifted, had the brief relief when the hurricane ending to now like, okay, got to now shift up gears with that. But basically all I just put was hurricane's over. Now it's time for cowboy shit.
Yeah.
And I know if you don't watch wrestling, you're not familiar with Hangman Page, you might not know what that is. But it's pretty obviously simple. And even though I've never ridden I think I've rode a horse once when I was like 8 years old. But I've never been a cowboy. I've never been like I'm not a country boy, but I can identify with the idea of what cowboy shit is. And
yeah,
both of us in our lives right now are at the point that we need to start doing some cowboy shit.
I can agree with that.
That was great. That was a really nice fortune cookie, Mike. I thank you. I mean, obviously, we needed some. It wasn't the funniest thing in the world, and I'm not knocking you on that. But we need to talk sometimes about some real fucking shit. And
yeah.
Usually we take that fortune cookie of the week segment for a little bit of levity and like make fun of it. But in all honesty, that kind of hit the nail on the head for both of us. And I thank you for kind of bringing that out, man.
Hey, man. Like I said, sometimes we do need to just be real people. We need to get some things out. And,
yeah,
fortunately, I say that fortunately for us, we have a space where we can do that weekly. And I do think that is something that is starting to become a bit of a rarity. I don't think people want to get out there and
talk with friends. And it's why if you know me, if you are friends with me, you know that I'm a guy that when I'm not doing this show, I actually do pick up the phone to people, and I try and I have conversations with people. And sometimes, if those of you who know me real well know, those conversations go very long and very late into the night.
That we've definitely done a couple 2-3 hour long.
Absolutely. And that is something that, like you just said, not everybody does anymore. I think there was a lot more of that going on in years past, probably prior to social media, probably prior to, smartphones and all that stuff. You would get together on more occasions. And hey, we're even guilty of it within the context of the show. Thankfully, we do have the ability to do this virtually, but we're guilty of it that I sit across from me with two microphones on a couch open, right? That you could be sitting directly across from me. And that's something we absolutely need to change. Something that will be, I think, hopefully changing. We get you in studio more. We get some guests in the studio. I got a list, buddy, of people that want to come in. And it's more or less just figuring out the times and schedules and putting that all together. I know that Samantha and Travis are desperate to come in. We would love to have them. We will do that soon. That's Samantha from Semantics, of course. And man, I know Kenny is also dying to come in as well to hang out with us. So these are people that'll be very fun and good friends of the show. And I mean, Zach wants to come in. I mean, we've got a goddamn a list a mile long. That being said, if any of those people or any of you want to contact us, maybe leave us a voicemail. I'd love to get more voicemails here at the show. We do have a number that you can leave a message. That's over at 407-906-6466. I'd implore you to do it because I'll play it on the show. If you've got a question, if you've got a comment about anything that we have done, don't forget that we just launched this new TikTok that's over at whatever at Ono Media over there on TikTok. Just do me a favor. Like some of those videos, subscribe to our thing, whatever it is. Follow, like, subscribe, all that crap. Ono Media over on YouTube as well. We always post these directly to the YouTube. And if there's anything else, Mike, please add it now. But I think we're good, right? We did a show.
No, I think we nailed it. We got to everybody. I think everybody's going to be pretty happy with what they got here today.
I didn't do no clips. I didn't do no extra nothing. But hey, that'll be coming back. It's not like that's going away. Trust me. We all love our clips. But this week was just a week that I felt it was more important to sit down, bullshit, talk with my friends. And I'm thankful we did so. So, thank you for listening. It's been one. You heard all the plugs earlier. OnoRadioShow.com, of course. Anywhere you get your podcast, just search for Ono Radio Show.
Very much.
Twitch.tv/ONRS Live. Gave you all the numbers, 407-906-6466. Facebook.com/groups/Ono Radio Show. I don't think I got anything else to say. I got to prepare for a big-ass work trip.
Woo!
And I'm kind of exhausted from all this hurricane bullshit. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for supporting us. Mikey.
Yeah, there.
But what do we say to them when we get out of here? Eat a bag of